Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
If you wake up in the morning with a backache, feeling more tired than you did when you went to bed, you probably need a new mattress. And the best place to get that mattress is Factory Mattress. Hi, I'm Kirk Smith, General Manager. For more than 40 years, Factory Mattress has been Greenville and Wilson's local mattress dealer. We guarantee the lowest price on the area's best selection with over 50 models to choose from. No seconds or overruns. Factory Mattress offers only first quality direct from the manufacturer. Sealy Posturepedic, Beauty Rest, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. The most highly trained sales associates with over 60 years of combined experience. Same as cash financing with zero interest up to 48 months and free local delivery. Face it, to have a good day, you've got to have a good night. So sleep better knowing you saved money at Factory Mattress, locally owned on Greenville Boulevard in Greenville, on Forest Hills Road in Wilson, on the web at factorymattressusa.com, and a proud member of Pirates Supporting Pirates.
Tune in to Pirate Radio every Monday for the Delcor Players Lounge.
Pirate first baseman Josh Moylan.
The approach that Coach gives us is, 99% of the time it's right. So we go in there and read off that sheet and get in the box and get at it.
Every Monday on Pirate Radio Live, we'll recap the baseball weekend and preview the week ahead.
Jacob Jenkins Coward.
I don't mean to hate on the people of Chapel Hill, but they are what you'd call wine and cheese fans, where they golf clap, stuff like that.
That's fair.
The Delcor Players Lounge, every Monday at 3 p.m. on Pirate Radio Live. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Can you be quiet, please? Thank you.
Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
Well, I just think we were prepared. One thing my trainer, he told me, he said, what did he say? He just told us to be prepared.
All right.
It was in the men's section.
Girl shirt button on the other side.
Yes.
We figured it out.
Wes is wearing a girl shirt.
It's a me, Nancy Garcia.
Go Cojones.
How about those friggin' Pirates?
There's local politics, bud.
Boom, boom, boom. Now let me hear say, well.
You are terrible! And stop playing that song!
Clip. Hey, man. Good to see you, brother.
Did not flub at all. Send it in.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, welcome in to Pirate Radio Live here on it is Wednesday. Man, I'm a little discombobulated with the day basketball going on, everything going on with ECU athletics. It is a lovely day here in Eastern North Carolina. I am swept up in the madness and very excited for today's program. We're going to have a lot of fun on the show and talk a lot of sports, and just noises and sounds are going through my brain right now. I can't even comprehend all that is happening. Shirley Rhodes is here, Chandler Honeycutt here on a Wednesday. We're happy to have you here. Chime in to the program on YouTube and Facebook Live. Be a part of the show. I want to talk to sports guys and sports gals, and luckily we might have some here. Favorite tournament upsets, we can get into it next week as well, but this time of year brings back so many memories. Got the conference tournaments going on right now. We'll update you on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by the Buck. Also, some madness on the baseball diamond yesterday in Kannapolis, East Carolina, defeating Queens in some pretty dramatic fashion. We'll discuss that as well. So just a ton to get to. Awesome time of the year, and excited to be here with you on Pirate Radio Live. All right, we are on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville. Also, 1041 Washington, 930, 1250, online, pr927fm.com. Make sure you are subscribed to Pirate Radio TV and like the stream. We already have 9 more people watching than we have likes at the moment. So if you're watching me now, click a thumb, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. We'd certainly appreciate that. It will cost you nothing. It will just be your good gesture for the day. We have daily giveaways on the show that we give out to you. We'll have more giveaways coming out Thursday at 12:30 for a watch-along. We'll be here with ECU and USF, and we'll be so that'll be at 12:30 on Thursday. If East Carolina women win tonight. We got to talk about that, too, from last night. If the Pirates beat Memphis tonight, we are going to do a doubleheader, a triple header, if you include Pirate Radio Live, our 3-hour tour on Thursday. But Chandler and I will be here late night on Thursday night for ECU women's basketball in the AAC championship, if they can win tonight. So a huge potential Thursday coming up. If the women can win tonight, we'll have a watch-along at 12:30, Pirate Radio Live from 3 to 6, and then later on in the evening, another watch-along. So we're fired up for some hoops, men and women, here at Pirate Radio. All right, I got to get my stuff straight. I mean, I will need some help from Shirley and Chandler to keep me grounded with everything going on. How are you guys doing in there?
Doing pretty good.
Shirley's been busy today. Chandler's been running around. There's a buzz.
There is a big buzz.
It's palpable.
It's palpable. There's a plethora of buzzes.
And I need like a handler, a helper. I need something. A hamburger helper. I don't know.
If you need a handler, my name's Chandler.
Well, you need a handler or two of your own. So I wouldn't want to just put more on your plate by asking you to be my handler.
Yeah, not much more room on that plate.
There you go. And you like a full plate. The good thing about you, though, you clean that plate.
Yeah, I'm on the Clean Plate Club.
You're on the Clean Plate Club?
I'm in the Clean Plate Club.
Well said. Coming up on today's show, we will go live to Fort Worth and talk to Michael Perry. He will join us coming up on the program today. East Carolina getting ready for South Florida. We'll talk about the health of the team. And we'll also hear from Mike Schwartz later on in the show as he talked yesterday before splitting town for the AAC tournament, his first postseason game as the head coach of the Pirates. So we'll hear from Coach Schwartz. We'll also talk to Michael Perry coming up in about 30 minutes. Patrick Mason, Daily Reflector, will join us to talk Pirate baseball, Pirate hoops, women's hoops, and more. Stephen Igoe hoists the colors in the third hour of today's show. So that is what is on tap. We're happy to have you here. Kaz on YouTube says, hello, what a great day. I agree. This is a great day. It is a great few weeks here coming up with March Madness, sports going on all day, every day. Been watching basketball. Already lost 2 bets, so feeling good. St. Bonaventure lost. They're out of the A-10 tournament. And Wake Forest on a last-second 3 as a 3.5-point favorite. Got by, they advanced. They beat Syracuse in the ACC tournament right now on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by DeBuck. Pitt has a 21-17 lead over Georgia Tech. Shirley, what do you have?
I was going to say we do have a little bit of breaking news in terms of...
Well, a little bit.
I wouldn't say breaking news. It came out earlier this afternoon, but I don't think you've mentioned it.
It's like shatter. It's like... If it's not broke, a sprain. We have some sprain news for you.
Yes. East Carolina freshman forward Ezra Ozar.
See, this has been a big bone of contention for me all season long.
Yeah.
Jeff Charles.
Let's just say Ezra.
Yeah, that's kind of what I go with. The announcers, Morgan Ehlers, have said Ezra Ozar. The official pronunciation guide I was handed had Asar. Yeah. So, but I guess we go with Ozar, but like you said, just go Ezra.
Ezra has been unanimously named to the American Athletic Conference All-Freshman Team.
Well deserved.
Luigi DeBow received the AAC Sportsmanship Award.
What a perfect award for a perfect sportsman.
As you said before, there's a lot of things that Luigi does that does not show up in the stat sheets.
Including his sportsmanship.
Exactly.
Including being a good sportsman.
And in terms of
Shirley, you got to stop saying that.
For sure, in terms of
a little bit.
If any.
Big ball game.
All freshman team, I mentioned Ezra is on that team, and I thought there was one other, but I guess no, that's it.
In terms of that being it.
So you have Ezra was he was a unanimous selection for freshman.
Chandler, what does that word mean?
That means everybody voted on him.
Thank you.
And he's the first Pirate freshman to receive the postseason honor since 2019 when Jaden Gardner was unanimously selected.
Here's the problem. I've had this conversation with Cy Seymour a million times.
Did you look and did you listen?
I did. We've had a lot of guys on the all-freshman team, and then they split town, or we just don't see more. You can go throughout the years. Having a Pirate on the all-freshman team is not news. That has happened before. It's happened a lot. We got to get the guys on the all-conference team, which we have struggled to do. Yeah, Jaden and some others, but I want to say like maybe a B.J. Tyson, Kentrell Barkley. I feel like we've just had a lot of guys on the all-freshman team.
And there's guys that have made the all-freshman team in the past could have probably made an all-conference team in the future at East Carolina. The problem there is there was no future at East Carolina. They went on into greener pastures, including like a Jaden Gardner and others. So.
But that's awesome for Ezra and great for Luigi as well. Great dude. Let's hope they put on a good show. And Ezra's season did a roller coaster. Remember Brandon Johnson got off to a great start last year in the non-conference, kind of hit a wall when the competition got better. We saw that with Ezra this year. Actually, we saw not much at all, and then Chandler, before tip-off of one of the games, I don't remember which one it was, said, this is Ezra's breakout.
This is his
Welcome to the
showcase.
Ezra show.
Yeah.
And that was his best game at the time, and then he put together a string of really good games. Then he hit a wall. Better competition. We barely were seeing him on the court.
Yeah.
Remember, he'd go in, he'd make a mistake, Mike Schwartz would take him out and get in his face.
Right in his face.
Right in his face. And we were like, okay, freshman wall, we've seen this before. He was able to break down that wall, get through the other side of the wall, break on through to the other side, like Jim Morrison said, and put together a strong finish to the season. So good for him going through the ebbs and flows of a college season, especially as a freshman, as Shirley Rhodes likes to say.
A freshman.
Steve says, happy Sports Trivia Wednesday, Clippo. Got that going on, too. 8 o'clock tonight.
Can't wait.
This is one of my... So this and
March.
The, I guess, Maction. This is better, though, I think, than when Maction's playing on Wednesday night. This is your conference tournament Wednesday at AJ's. We're going to have... The Game Zone will be tracking ECU women as they play tonight in round 2 in the semifinals of the American tournament. So, man, it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. Got some great questions, so come on out and see us. Have a good time. Great food, great grog, everything you want. Entertainment at AJ's 8 o'clock. Steve also says, sweet lid clip. Oh, this whole thing? Oh, this?
This?
Oh, I didn't even know I was wearing it.
Oh, you mean this thing?
This whole thing? Yeah.
This is nothing.
But I didn't make it, so I can't say thank you.
Don't you say thank you.
You need to thank the makers of this hat. I'm guessing somewhere overseas it came from. Like most of my hats. Even my hats that have like a patriotic thing or American flag are like made in Indonesia or something. I don't even see. Oh, made in Laos.
Laos.
Thank you to the Laotians out there.
By the way, let's talk about this hat. I thought it was a regular old flat bill, but it's got the mesh in the back.
It's kind of like a mullet hat because it's business in the front.
And, man, there's a party going on in the back.
In the back.
I don't even think I'm going to be let into that party.
It is trucker-style mesh in the back.
It's nice.
However,
it's a party you're not invited to, basically.
Just when you think the party's a little too wild, it's like, not so fast, my friend. We're going to fit this baby. It is a fitted hat.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the... help me out. What's it called?
Snapback.
Doesn't have the snapback at the back. It's fitted. So there you go. The mullet hat. Business in the front, party in the back. But not too wild of a party.
No.
Okay. Thank you. Glad everybody is now in tune.
In tune. You got to be really in tune. There's a really good party going on in the back of Clip's head right now with that hat.
Alex says, put Ezra in... Well, this is an unfortunate typo. Put Ezra... This is Alex's comment on YouTube, not mine. He said, "Put Ezra in whiteness protection." Now, Alex.
Jeez, Alex.
What is whiteness protection as opposed to witness protection? Because Ezra, last time I checked, not a white man.
You are canceled, buddy.
Alex said, "Put Ezra in whiteness protection. Don't let anyone talk to him." I believe, I'm going to give Alex the benefit of the doubt here.
I believe you meant witness protection.
And I believe what he's saying there is take his phone, take all forms of communication.
Turn him white.
Give him a Sammy Sosa, Michael Jackson style treatment. You know what? It's not a bad idea. If Ezra, it did happen to turn into a white man, a Caucasian. First of all, the teams would be like, so where's that Ezra guy that played last year for you guys? I'm looking at your roster right now.
He's right there. He's on the court right now.
I see Javon Small, and I see Brandon Johnson. I see this tall white gentleman.
Oh, no, that's just Ezra. He's in whiteness protection program.
Never thought about turning our good players white, and maybe teams will back off. Whiteness protection. Yeah, we don't want anybody talking to Ezra. Leave Ezra alone.
Leave Ezra alone.
Great start to the show. Thank you, Alex, for that.
Can we do a kind of what we did with Blake Harrell, like some sort of campaign? Like
champagne on the campaign.
Champagne on the campaign.
Where we just start trashing him?
Yes.
Yeah. Blake Harrell found out about that, kinda. He got the joke, but I don't know how much he liked it. Like, he kind of gave me yeah, that was funny. But it was probably like, I've never kicked a puppy a day in my life. Why are you saying such things? Yeah. We were trying to get him not hired by another school, taken away from us. So maybe we don't need to trash Ezra. We can just say, hey, how about this game where he played 4 minutes and didn't score? That's what you want on your team?
That's a fact.
Yeah.
But not show him the good side of it.
Exactly.
Which there is a lot of good side.
And look, it's 2023. Mm-hmm. All we do is focus on the negative. That's what we'll do. We'll just focus on the negative. We will have a campaign to smear the good name of Ezra Ozar/Asar. All right. Let's see. Any other awesome comments? I love a good typo. Kenny says, lid of the week. Could be. This is quickly gotten into my top 5 all-time lids owned. I love it. Ready for some Braves baseball. Ready for some Dale Murphy here in town.
Yes, sir.
Coming up very soon. All right. So much to recap, and we are joshing around. Want to start with last night. The most excited I've been for a women's basketball game in a long time. And the Pirates gave me reason to be excited because they looked awesome. They got out to a 19-point lead. They were cruising. I got a little cocky.
I saw that.
Got a little too cocky on the social media. I blinked, and it was a tie game. Yeah. And I said, oh, boy.
Jeez.
Another sport at East Carolina I can ruin by jinxing, but not so fast. These Pirates were too tough. End up, what do they do? What do they do, Chandler? What do they do, Shirley? They finish strong. A strong fourth quarter after a great run by Tulane, and East Carolina outlast the Green Wave, end up winning by 11, 69-58. You look at the turnover department, 18 turnovers for the Green Wave, and how many of those are forced? The Pirates had 8 steals last night, a couple of blocks as well, and we're playing that, I was looking at 13 turnovers. 18 turnovers for Tulane. What am I saying?
Good gracious.
And also 12 steals for the Pirates. That's the number I was looking for. And 7 blocks for the Pirates. I knew it was higher than that. Tenacious D all night long by the Pirates. And
19 rebounds for Amaya Jr., which, by the way, is the single-game record for an AAC tournament game.
A record-breaking performance by the freshman from Farmville Central, 19 points, rebounds to go with her 8 points. last night.
Freshman of the year, by the way, in the American Conference. She's a stat stuffer, folks.
And by the way, we keep saying by the way. How about this, Charlie? What if I told you the Pirates win by 11, look good in so doing.
In so doing.
When Danae McNeil goes 2 of 13 with 7 points. That's a sign of a good team when your star, your leading scorer, only has 7 points, bad night shooting, but you get 3 other Pirates in double figures, Dennis Johnson and Mosley.
Oh yeah, I was.
Speak on that.
You were going by name, last names. That's why it threw me because you said Dennis Johnson. I was like, "There's not a Dennis Johnson on that team," and we're talking about the women's team.
Rest in peace, Dennis Johnson, great point guard for the champion Celtics back in the day.
Micah Dennis, and that was the thing that I had been saying before is that a lot of focus and a lot of attention has been paid on Danae McNeil and Amaya Joyner, and rightfully so. However, do not discount who they call Money Mike. And Micah Dennis is dangerous from the three-point land. Sania Johnson has quietly kind of become that fourth person that they can count on in terms of getting some offensive production. And I tell you what, it's been a lot of fun. And Morgan Mosley coming off the bench a lot of times and has been very productive. And it's been a lot of fun to watch them play, and I am just super excited about tonight. 7 o'clock tip-off against Memphis. That's the 2 seed.
I love the post-game lack of celebration. There was some high fives. A very conservative smile or two.
The sense of we're supposed to be here.
Yeah.
We're supposed to do this.
I also like post-game hearing the talk, and it was Johnson talking after the game and saying we weren't going to go home tonight. They are focused on 2 things: winning each night and winning a championship. And she talked about both. Mm-hmm. She said we weren't going home tonight, and we're going to bring it tomorrow night, and we're going to bring it on Thursday night. So it's one game at a time, but they are there not to have fun in Fort Worth and experience all the wonderful things the Dallas-Fort Worth area has to offer. They're there to win a freaking championship.
Well, you got to think that's been the mindset all year because you're a team that was picked to finish 11th in the conference, and then you end up finishing 3rd. So I believe that mindset that was in the regular season.
Well, there might be a level of...
I think the mindset there was like, let's win some games, prove people wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I think the mindset now has changed to,
all right,
we belong.
Yeah.
Let's win a championship.
Like we proved ourselves, and
yeah.
we're gonna prove that we are a top 3 team in this conference. So.
And
I think they're gonna prove they're the best team in the conference. Come on, Chandler, you gotta get your head right.
Sorry, my
I think,
glass is
like
half
I
empty,
said,
not half full.
What's wrong with you?
I'm just negative.
Well, I'm here to tell you that I think that they are licking their chops even more because now that South Florida is out of it, and they were heavily favored to win the tournament, now they know they have got, I wouldn't say an even better chance, but they have got
a better chance. An even better chance.
A wider path.
Yeah, okay.
To the championship, and they want it. They can see it. It's within their grasp. All they have to do is play their brand of basketball, and I don't know if anybody can stop them.
The Pirates won at Memphis 55-47. The Pirates lost at home to Memphis 61-53.
Oh, yeah, that was the game where they couldn't throw it in the ocean in the second half.
2 games decided by 8 points. Both teams that were on the road won those games. So you split with Memphis. You get them again as the 2 seed. Here's something interesting I saw. I'm going to look it up right now for myself. A little women's bracketology. Anyone?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, give me some music. Give me some
Da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Forgot that part.
I love the kind of the question.
It's
the question.
It's the theme song as a question.
Jeopardy.
So, with South Florida out of the AAC tournament, that opens up a spot for another team to make what I like to call the big dance. I made that up.
Put the shoes on.
The automatic qualifier in the women's bracketology on ESPN has, guess who? Memphis winning the championship as the 2 seed. But East Carolina split with Memphis, pretty much same record, all that. Could very well be ECU. In this women's bracketology, they have the 13 seed Memphis, which for this conversation we'll say East Carolina, playing in Chapel Hill against North Carolina in round 1. That could be us. I just wanted to look at it because, what kind of seed would ECU get if they made it? I think 13 is where they have Memphis. That would probably be a good number for the women's team. So a 13-4 matchup. And the 4 seeds are going to host at home, the highest seed so the 1s host 2, 3, and 4s host. So it would be in Chapel Hill. Other 4 seeds right now, UCLA, which will be out in LA, Villanova, which will be up in Philly, and Texas out in Austin. So I'm not looking ahead, I guess I am looking ahead. I'm just saying, we don't have this opportunity to talk about these things a lot. So
But the opportunity is here.
Let's
the
enjoy
opportunity is now.
Let's embrace it, right? All right, let's take before we take a break. Kenny says, what's the best record an ECU women's basketball team ever had?
Well, the last time,
I do not know.
The last time that they had a 20-win season was 2013 when Heather Macy was here. And that, by the way, was the last time that they went to postseason play because, remember, they went to the WNIT because that was when they lost to State. In Greenville because I was sitting courtside for that game. And
sick flex.
Sick flex. But no, I managed to luck out and had a friend that had courtside seats and invited us to sit down.
Okay,
so,
who was your friend?
All right, Shirley got courtside for women. We didn't. Okay, fine. Who cares?
Who was your friend, and why were they not helping us the other night when we tried to get courtside seats?
Yeah.
Talk to George Santos.
John
Santos. I'm sorry. Not George. John.
You don't even know the man's name.
No,
and
I was
he's
thinking
giving you courtside
You know
seats.
what? You can hush. Moving on.
All right.
But that's the last time we have been to postseason, and that's 2013.
Bob says any game times? I don't know what you mean, Bob.
Come on, Bob.
Be more specific. Adam with the line of the day so far. He says Ezra is the Fred McGriff of college basketball. That is an inside joke for people that listen to this show. Well done, Adam. Let's take a break, Adam boy. When we return, Michael Perry, Mike P trying to get in on the line of the day.
Let's see.
He said Shirley Rhodes, more like Shirley Front Rows. We are having fun on a Wednesday. A lot going on. We'll talk some hoops with Coach Perry after this.
Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, get rid of unwanted hair and under-eye fat pads? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar Medi Spa for a free consultation and ask about our newest technologies and treatments. Learn more at beautybarmedispa.com, Red Banks Road, Greenville. Enjoy your visit, love your transformation, and go Pirates!
Here with Jeff Stein at Brown & Wood. Jeff, how can you help people with service in 2023?
We continue to offer free pickup and drop-off for the customers, and our customers' time is valuable. So we've added 3 additional Express Lube technicians to reduce wait time. That's our #1 goal for 2023. And please don't forget, we service all makes and models. We're voted #1 in Greenville by the customer. Come see us at 329 Southwest Greenville Boulevard. Brown & Wood, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has American airline flights perfect for your next trip. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the pirates fly.
Greetings, friends of Eastern North Carolina. If you're looking for a great place to work with competitive pay and a multitude of advancement opportunities, Pitt County Schools is hiring. We employ over 3,500 people, and we're one of the largest employers in Pitt County. We are currently seeking teachers, bus drivers, school nutrition personnel, facility staff, custodians, clerical staff, and more. We offer advanced leadership opportunities for our educators and competitive pay for our skilled labor force. If you want to be part of a thriving school system that focuses on educating students, growing our employees, and promoting positive mental and physical health initiatives, we encourage you to become a part of our Pitt County Schools family to help ensure success for the future of Eastern North Carolina. To fill out an application, visit our website today at pittschools.org. That's pittschools.org. And remember, education is truly a team effort. Pitt County Schools. Live and lead.
With over 30 locations across North Carolina and southeastern Virginia, Quality Equipment is your local John Deere dealer, where you'll find everything you need for your next project. Our complete lineup of John Deere lawn and garden, agricultural, and commercial worksite equipment comes with years of experience, expertise, and dedication. We know what it takes to get it done right. Stop by today or visit us online at qualityequip.com.
Greenville Utilities electric customers will soon be able to receive text notifications in the event of power outages. Enrollment is automatic, so make sure GUC has your cell phone number by signing into your account at GUC.com, then update the information in your user profile. Want to talk with someone instead? Call 252-752-7166 during business hours. 252-752-7166. Update us so we can update you. Visit GUC.com for more information.
Hi, this is Phil Steele of Phil Steele's College Football Preview Magazine, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Country Mart. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations, in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. The best place in Greenville to unwind after work and have fun is AJ McMurphy's. AJ says daily food and drink specials and an awesome patio, perfect for some outdoor dining. And there's something for everyone every weeknight, including sports trivia with our very own Clip Brock. AJ says live music every Friday and Saturday with no cover, and brunch every Sunday. Make today an AJ's day. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, back with you, Pirate Radio Live here on a Wednesday. Pittsburgh, a 13-point lead over Georgia Tech at halftime in the ACC tournament. And right now, George Mason has a 1-point lead over Richmond in the A10 tournament, 38-37, 9:52 left to go in that one. Those scores on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by Da Buck. We'll keep you updated on everything going on in conference tournament action throughout today's show. East Carolina women's team will take on Memphis in the AAC semifinals coming up tonight at 7 o'clock. That will be on ESPN+. We got baseball coming up. We got to recap that one at some point and talk about today's game. Chandler, keep an eye out for a lineup. Should be getting one soon. But right now, we will head out just to tell you how much is going on. We'll talk men's hoops with Michael Perry, who joins us on the Pirate Radio Live line from Fort Worth, Texas, for the AAC basketball tournament. Pirates get underway Thursday, 12:30 against South Florida. Coach Perry, thank you for your time. How you doing?
I'm doing great. All is well out here in Fort Worth.
Good to hear. So a good flight, and now hopefully the Pirates can get some work in. Coach, how much time do teams get to get on the court, to shoot around, and maybe get into practice? What all goes on as teams gear up for a conference tournament?
Typically in your conference tournaments, each team is allotted 40 minutes Some places less, but I've never seen more than 40. That's what we have today. 40 minutes of practice time on the actual floor. Then you have a practice facility we're fortunate to have here in the arena where we're playing Dickey's Arena, which is a big-time facility. I mean, it's like a pro arena. But they have a practice facility right off of the court, and you actually have an additional hour there that you can actually have the real practice. For that 40 minutes, you want to get shots up, kids get acclimated to their surrounding, get used to the baskets, and then you do your real core work, scouting report, things like that, in the privacy of a practice facility right there. I mean, there have been years in which a lot of times you have to go off-site to a local high school or college, and you can get in there and actually have additional practice time because you're only allowed it, sometimes 30, and this year is 40 minutes on the actual floor.
Coach, the big questions for East Carolina right now is the health of this team heading into the game on Thursday. And Coach Michael Schwartz said before he left that, they're not expecting Javon Small to return to the lineup as he has been out for a while now. And then you've got an issue with Ben Baela, and R.J. Felton was banged up in the last regular season game. So, Coach, I know it's going to be, how does R.J. feel today? How's he feel when he wakes up tomorrow? But what's the status of R.J. Felton as far as you know right now?
Yeah, I can't really say because all we did was travel. As far as practice, I can't really speak on that. But I would say that, he finished the game off pretty good. It's one of those deals where you see with a lot of kids, and fortunately that was the case for R.J. in that you see kids rolling around on the floor or hobbling on the floor and have to be assisted off the floor. And then a few plays later, you see them back on the floor running and dunking. So I was hoping that was going to be the case for him, which it was. I mean, he came out at halftime. We were shocked. And he actually didn't make it out until a few seconds before the tip-off. But all of a sudden, he came running out of the tunnel like Superman. And he started doing sprints on the sides with the strength coach. And we were really excited to see him come back because, anytime you see a kid who's hurt and has to be assisted off the floor by two other people, you think maybe he's done for the game. But it's something about some of these kids today that they're well-built, they're strong, they're really resilient, and they can get back and bounce back. And I always said an athlete is quicker to bounce back than a non-athlete, and R.J. Felton is an athlete.
No doubt about that. And when you talk about leaving the court and coming back on like Superman, it reminds me of ECU's home game last week. Brandon Johnson took a real shot to the face, and this was not one of those cases, Coach, where you got a guy that gets hit and flops and fakes it and everything. He took a real shot. He's able to get taped up, stitched up, whatever it was, come back in. So these Pirates are pretty tough out there.
Yeah, in fact, you're right. That was a legitimate a blow that he took to the face. And you're always alarmed when the trainers take him to the locker room rather than to the bench because it's pretty serious. And he went to the back, and then he came back, and you could see the visible signs. There was swelling. He had, stuff out of his nose. And, you can look at his face. The first thing I thought when I saw him, when he came back, I thought, man, I'm glad he already has a girlfriend because he have a hard time getting one now. He looked.
Michael Perry joining us. While you're talking about players and temperament of basketball players, I got a kick out of you the other day, Coach, when the teams were kind of, getting after it a little bit, doing a little yapping, a little pushing maybe. You said basketball players don't fight. They talk. Football players, maybe they'll fight, but basketball players, it's all about the chirping. There's not much fighting going on. Is that right?
There's a lot of truth to that. And I was quoting Bill Russell because he used to always say that, let them go ahead and talk all they want to talk. They're not going to do anything. They're basketball players. Football players, you have to be concerned. A fight could possibly break out. With basketball players, not hardly.
And another thing, Coach, too, that during that game, I heard y'all talking about the coaches on the ECU bench trying to get a fan kicked out. I don't know. Did you find any more information on that? That was a little odd to hear on the broadcast.
Yeah, that was. And Coach Schwartz talked about it a little after the game. There was a fan, and as it can be, he kind of crossed the line. I didn't hear what he actually said, but it must have been something very offensive. And Coach kept yelling to him, "You can't say that. You don't say things like that." And during the course of the game, and first to be in the middle of a game, and coaches, like players, and Mike played ball, and he actually has coached for a long time. you kind of desensitize yourself from things that you hear.
Yeah.
I mean, you really zone out. So for somebody to say something that got his attention, it had to be pretty serious. Now, I haven't had a chance to ask him exactly what it was, but he did say after the game, "Hey, look, you can say anything you want to me or about me. He said, I can handle that. That goes with the title of being a coach." He said, "But there's certain things that you can't say to players." And he said, and that guy was continuing to do that, and he needed to be escorted out. And when anything like that happens, of course, when the coach starts calling a guy out, all the other fans in that area, they're very animated. They start getting into it. It becomes a big back and forth. But it was for me, it had to be really alarming for it to be something that a coach takes offense to because of what they're saying. It must have been really inappropriate. And Mike. Mike isn't one of these guys that's very animated and get into back and forth with fans on the sidelines. That's not what he does.
Yeah. Michael Perry joining us as he'll be on the call when East Carolina takes on South Florida, and the Pirates owe the Bulls one. Bulls got them twice in the regular season. I remember specifically the game in Minji's coach and Tyler Harris putting on a show, 5 of 8 from 3, 8 for 13 from the field. He had 24, and the big fella, 54, had 20 points as well and 7 rebounds. So South Florida got ECU twice during the regular season. What stood out in those meetings, Coach, that maybe the Pirates can reverse coming up on Thursday?
Well, you mentioned the two guys right there. Tyler Harris had his way both games, and he exemplifies small guards with a lot of moxie, a lot of swagger. He talks a lot. He's an experienced player. He's very talented. We remember his years at Memphis. Heck, he went to Iowa State for a year and played there a lot, and he came back to Memphis. And he's a Memphis kid and had a lot of success. And he can do everything. He can score it in the paint. He can score it from 3, one of the best shooters in the league. He can get into the paint with his penetration. So he hurts you in so many ways because he's a dual threat in being able to score and also be able to facilitate and make passes for his teammates. But he had his will. And then the other thing about him, just the whole mental aspect of what he brings to the table. When you can talk and you can back it up, I mean, that's saying a lot of himself. But their team feeds off of him. They feed off his energy, his enthusiasm of his play. He's a pest defensively. But we just had no answer for him. And in true way, I mean, he's one of the biggest players in the league. I mean, he looks like Godzilla out there on the floor in a positive way. I mean, he's a physical specimen for the eyes. I mean, he's impressive, great size, athleticism. And he, too, is a load. You have to put a body on him to match his physicality. But when Tyler Harris has the type of penetration that he has, it creates so many breakdowns in your defense, and it allows Chilwell to actually have more freedom and accessibility to do what he does well close to the basket. So those are the two key guys. But they got a lot of good players as well. Very athletic team. And but everything is keyed by Tyler Harris. But I think the interesting thing about this game as opposed to before, if you remember, and no knock on Caleb, but Caleb is a small little guard who, in this league, a lot of teams have attacked him when he enters the game. He started both of those games. He was playing major minutes when we played them last. Jaden Walker has since become the starting point guard. At 6'5", 6'6", he's a bigger defender. He's the team's best perimeter defender. He guards all the other opposing team's best perimeter player. He'll be matched up with Harris, which will be a different matchup for him. So as opposed to him seeing a little guy like Caleb on him, or even some smaller guards, he's going to be matched up with a bigger guard who's really been doing a great job defensively. So there's going to be a change in terms of the team that South Florida sees tomorrow night against East Carolina, or tomorrow midday against East Carolina.
Yeah, it's a great point. A different look USF will get when they see the Pirates coming up on Thursday. Coach, looking at how East Carolina wrapped up the regular season since we last spoke, East Carolina put together one of their best performances of the year against Tulane. Just a wall-to-wall victory where, in control the entire game. Turned around 2 nights later, lost a tight one to Tulane. And I don't know, Coach, how much you like to talk about officiating. There were some questionable charge calls, maybe some flops on Tulane's side down the stretch. East Carolina definitely did get the benefit of the calls there late in that game.
No, and it was a really good officiating crew, so I don't think it was a question of and it wasn't a crowd. Sometimes when you're in a place, a big arena, and the crowds are stacked and you feel that they're influencing officials, that wasn't the case either. I mean, those calls could have probably gone either way, but it's just for 3 offensive fouls to be called in the closing minutes of a game, you just don't see that. There were 1 or maybe 2 that were probably play-on type plays, but they were deciding factors because you took 3 possessions away from the Pirates in the closing minutes of that game. But turnovers are going to be really important factor. I mean, there are 2 things going forward: turnovers and also rebounding. I mean, Tulane doesn't have the size of some of the teams. You take that meat grinder of a schedule the Pirates had to finish out the season with Houston, the 2 games with Tulane, and then Central Florida. Certainly, Houston is Houston. They're on a different level in terms of size, athleticism. I mean, they're the number 1 team in the country, for God's sake. And then you've got Central Florida, who had been beset with a lot of injuries. They're finally getting back healthy. They were projected to be one of the better teams in the league, and they're playing like it now. And they got great size. So those 2 teams gave the Pirates a problem because they didn't allow second chance opportunities. They did so against Tulane. That was one of the few games this year, even though Tulane's an elite level team, but one of the few teams in the league in which the Pirates have a size advantage on them, particularly in size. But it wasn't just the size advantage. The Pirates played harder. I mean, they were quicker to the basketball, certainly in the game in Greenville. But it created second chance opportunities. And they had 19 offensive rebounds in Greenville and 17 in New Orleans. And they put themselves in a position to win that game. But it was completely different against Central Florida in that Central Florida had an advantage on the offensive glass and second chance opportunities. And that was the difference in the game. So you got to do a better job in trying to create some second chance opportunities, which will be difficult against the South Florida team who rebounds the ball and has great size and athleticism. But then you got to take care of the basketball also. That's going to be important.
One thing you didn't mention there, Coach, and as a former player and a former coach, I'm sure you don't like excuses, but the 3 games in 5 days, and again, don't take anything away from UCF. They played great, shot 50%, hit 9 threes, hit almost all their free throws. You talked about the rebounding, but how about the legs of ECU? Was that a factor at all on Sunday's loss?
Legs are a little bit of a factor. I don't think quite as much as sometimes spectators, fans, and even commentators realize, because I think we have to take into consideration these are young guys. I mean, we travel. I know just in the course of that travel, I was thinking to myself, man, I'm tired. I'm tired of being on this flight. I'm tired of just the travel. But the young guys aren't as fatigued from the travel as older people are. But the one area where I do think is a really telling factor is the mental fatigue. And I thought that we started seeing some mental fatigue with the Pirates. Certainly they were the fresher team. They were sharper against Tulane in Greenville. I saw that kind of decrease a little bit in the second game. And, of course, we traveled to New Orleans. But against Central Florida, I thought there were some mental lapses with the guys that I think affected us because of mental fatigue. I mean, there were two instances on the free throw line where the ball was shot and our guys didn't react. That only happens as a result of mental fatigue. I mean, they didn't react. One time the kid Hendricks, the best player in Central Florida, shoots a free throw, and then after he shoots the free throw, he actually runs it down his miss and actually got it, but he just landed out of bounds. The Pirates never responded. That only happens because of mental fatigue. That happened twice. Not to mention mental fatigue can affect you just in your ball security. Unforced turnovers. I mean, you won't even get pressured, and all of a sudden you travel, you fumble the ball out of bounds. That's all mental fatigue. So this rest for the last couple of days will help. We had a long day of travel yesterday, but still not on your feet. You had a chance to kind of recalibrate mentally more than physically. So I think they're going to be better prepared mentally. But I thought at the end of that four-game meat grinder against Central Florida, I thought mental fatigue had an effect on the Pirates.
Yeah. Great points from Coach Michael Perry joining us on the show today. Coach, I ask football players a lot because on Saturdays you'll see the noontime slot, the 3:30 time slot, and then under the lights. And a lot of these football guys I talk to like to play early. Go ahead and get it out of the way, get out to the field. And, you still have a little bit of your day left after the game. With basketball, you play some weekend early games, but I'd say normally you're playing in the evening. How about, basketball teams? Do you like kind of getting right out there on the court, or is that 12:30 tip off a little too early? Maybe we'll see an effect on that. What do you think?
Me personally, I always hated playing that noon or 12:30 game in conference tournaments. I hate it. The arena feels like you're in a ghost town.
Right.
That's just me personally. However, I think most players, I think they like playing. I don't think they like the late games, 9 or 10 o'clock starts. I think we had 2 9 o'clock start games in the past week. I know Houston was, and I think
Tulane.
Another game. Yeah, Tulane was like a 9 o'clock start. You don't like those because you have to wait around all day to play. So I agree with football players. You hate waiting around. But I think basketball players preferably prefer, 7 o'clock, because that's what they're just so accustomed to. Now, I'll tell you one thing that is good, I think is an advantage for the Pirates. This semester, they've gone to practice in the mornings. So I think being able to, to get the juices flowing and get ready to play basketball at 12:30 isn't that going to be that big of a factor for them, because they practice in the mornings now. They go at either 8:30 or 9:30, depending on the day. So they're accustomed to getting up and practicing. I think when a team is not, I think that early start time has more of an adverse effect on them. That won't be the case for the Pirates, because they're used to getting up and get the puppies moving around a little bit.
Coach, another thing going on in Fort Worth is the women's tournament, and Kim McNeil's Pirates putting on an impressive show last night to knock off Tulane. They play Memphis tonight in the semifinals, and just 2 wins away from going to the NCAA tournament. So that was fun to watch last night, Coach, and we're pulling for your guys on Thursday and hoping the women can get it done as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I was glad to see them get a win last night. I'm always pulling for Kim. She's a former spotter, so of course all the best for her. But it's great to see her get a really good win here. And they got some interesting developments in their league, because the number 1 seed lost yesterday in South Florida. So I'm sure a lot of the women's teams are looking at it as the door is open for somebody to take advantage of it. So why not the Pirates? But really hoping that they can continue the success that they've already started.
Waiting for to see what happens with your Spiders today, Coach. At the time of this recording, they have not tipped off yet. Started with George Mason at 2 o'clock. But yesterday, 71-38 over UMass. I told you I was watching that game, and man, couldn't believe my eyes. I looked at it before. I think Richmond was like a 1-point favorite. They end up, winning by 50 almost.
Yeah, had a great game yesterday, and I think one of the reasons why, and I hope some of this carries over to some of our guys as well. But the really good player there, who's preseason all-conference, Tyler Burton, was not chosen to the first team A10 conference team. And he had a monster game yesterday, had 28 points. And I've seen that happen year in and year out. A kid feels slighted for not being chosen to one of those teams. So hopefully maybe something like that can happen with the Pirates here. One of our guys feels somewhat slighted, and they come out and have a monster game. We're going to need it tomorrow against South Florida. They're a good basketball team.
Great time of the year, exciting times, and hopefully the Pirates can go on a little run here, at least win one and get another crack at Houston coming up on Friday. Michael Perry will be on the call. Coach, always enjoy talking hoops with you. Thank you for joining us today, and enjoy your time there. Have a great call tomorrow, and we'll talk again down the road.
Take care. God bless everybody.
Michael Perry joining us today on Pirate Radio Live. We'll take a break. Come back, going down to the wire here with Coach Perry's Richmond Spiders. Spiders lead George Mason 51-48. 4:02 left to go in the game, round 2 of the A10 championship on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by Da Buck. We've got Pittsburgh leading Georgia Tech by 5. The Yellow Jackets have cut into that lead, starting 10-2 in the second half. So keep an eye on that one as well. We got an ECU baseball lineup for you, and we'll wrap up hour 1 when we return after this.
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates. They're open every day and have live music every night, along with 18 big screen TVs to watch all your favorite sporting events. Tuesday, it's karaoke with DJ Captain Morgan. Wednesdays, it's line dancing. Thursday night is the dance party with DJ Kid Scene. And live music every Friday and Saturday night with the best bands on the East Coast. Follow the Buck on Instagram for more information on scheduled events, and we'll see you at the Buck.
We have some pretty refreshing news coming to you from Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer. It's called the Essential Collection. It's made with coconut water and real fruit juice, so you know it's always going to have a refreshing, superior taste. Plus, it's only 90 calories and has 0 added sugar. This might just be the most refreshing seltzer yet. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer Essential Collection. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Take control of your health today with ArcPoint Labs. Looking to lose weight? Have you tried everything possible and nothing is working? Sometimes a hormone imbalance can be the underlying cause to weight issues that dieting and exercise can't fix alone. A simple blood test at ArcPoint Labs can provide insight to your weight loss goals. Visit arcpointlabs.com today or call 629-6228 to get an appointment. ArcPoint Labs. Accurate, reliable, confidential testing. Visit arcpointlabs.com.
If you wake up in the morning with a backache, feeling more tired than you did when you went to bed, you probably need a new mattress. And the best place to get that mattress is Factory Mattress. Hi, I'm Kirk Smith, General Manager. For more than 40 years, Factory Mattress has been Greenville and Wilson's local mattress dealer. We guarantee the lowest price on the area's best selection with over 50 models to choose from. No seconds or overruns. Factory Mattress offers only first quality direct from the manufacturer. Sealy Posturepedic, Beauty Rest, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. The most highly trained sales associates with over 60 years of combined experience. Same as cash financing with 0 interest up to 48 months and free local delivery. Face it, to have a good day, you've got to have a good night. So sleep better knowing you saved money at Factory Mattress, locally owned on Greenville Boulevard in Greenville, on Forest Hills Road in Wilson, on the web at factorymattressusa.com, and a proud member of Pirates Supporting Pirates.
Great. It's 30 degrees in here. This is going to be a cold night.
No one's coming out this late.
I'm on firewood.
Dad! I'll put hot coals in our socks for bedtime. Mom!
Hi, I'm from Delcor Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Got an email about your heat being out?
That was me. I sent it from my phone.
I think your socks are on fire.
Ah!
Call Delcor today to get a new system installed for less than $100 a month. Offer expires soon. Go to delcorinc.com. Monthly fee based on new system financing is 9.9% APR for 120 months. Call Delcor for details.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Pirate Radio.
And you write that down, because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it!
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Country Mart. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations, in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Grab your amigos and join Chico's for their 40th anniversary party on Saturday, March 11th from 1 until 6 p.m. There's going to be live music and entertainment from the Purple School Bus and DJ Dog in the Chico's parking lot. is the biggest fiesta of the year, and it's absolutely free. Make your plans now to be at Chico's this Saturday starting at 1 o'clock. And congratulations to Chico's on 40 years in business. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Cliff.
Lordy, Lordy, look who's 40. Chico's. Really poor break management today by the producers of Pirate Radio Live. I'd hate to be a Pirate Radio Live producer in the Monday meeting, but that's something you guys are just going to have to live with, I guess.
It's something we've dealt with before, and it's something that we'll have to deal with again.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's something we'll have to get through again. I think it's something we'll have to learn from again.
I think you guys do a pretty good job, but not a good first hour from Shirley and Chandler today.
Wait.
Glad you're having a spotless.
I'm doing. I just had a great interview, good opening segment. I'm doing my job.
You're
doing
to
great.
beep back that trolley train right back up, son.
Son,
did you sun me?
I did sun you.
She sunned you.
Here comes the sun.
Do.
Shirley, or sorry, you're Chandler. Chandler, can you give us a ECU baseball lineup?
Absolutely. The starting lineups for your ECU Pirates. Batting first, the designated hitter, Luke Nowak. Batting second, the second baseman, Jacob Starling. Batting third, the right fielder, Jacob Jenkins Coward. Batting fourth, the first baseman, Josh Moylan. Batting fifth, the left fielder, Carter Cunningham.
Who?
Batting sixth, the third baseman, Alec Makarevich. Batting seventh, the shortstop, Joey Barini. Batting eighth, the catcher, Justin Wilcoxon. And batting ninth, the center fielder, Riley Johnson. And the starting pitcher for your ECU Pirates, Jake Hunter.
All right. No Lane Hoover in the lineup today, so they'll try to get him over his struggles. Good to see Ryan McChrystal get an AB and a hit last night.
And his first at bat of the year.
So hopefully he is healing up, and we'll see more of him. But Justin Wilcoxon back in the lineup as the starting catcher for the Pirates on this Wednesday game against Elon. Wild one against Queens last night that we'll recap at some point on today's program. We got a ton to get to. Shirley, you got? Nope, nothing.
I enjoyed I do want to say I enjoyed the minor league-esque broadcast on ESPN Plus last night.
There was no talking, right?
There was no talking, but I like the visual.
No sound, and I thought
it was better than Duke.
I was watching the game on my phone, and when I pulled it up, I was like, "Is there something wrong with my phone?" And I went and did something else, and I got sound. So I went back, and I was like, "Well, I guess they're having some issue," and it just never had sound the entire time.
I almost got Ronnie Woodward to throw his TV out the window by telling him that it was a problem with his TV and not the broadcast. And he texted me back, called me a bad name.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Ronnie, be nice.
How dare he?
I saw Ronnie leaving the jungle the other day.
How dare you? Did you?
I did.
Did you say hello?
I said hello.
You say goodbye, and I say hello. Second Beatles reference of the segment.
You're on a roll.
Strong Beatles segment here. We got to take a break as we do. Wow, the Ramblin' Wreck of Georgia Tech have come back down 13 at the half. They trail now by just one with 14 minutes left to go against Pitt in the ACC tournament. Earlier today, Wake Forest wins it on a 3 against Syracuse. Right now, the Spides, Richmond, leading George Mason 55-53 with 1:43 left to go in that one. St. John's, the Johnnies, a lead over Butler at the half, 44-29 in the Big East. Colorado leading Washington 28-20 in Pac-12 tournament action on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard, presented by The Buck.
The Buck.
Well, we'll take a timeout, come back. We'll get our Flight by Yingling ECU practice report, hear what Mike Schwartz had to say before the Pirates left town. Also follow along this ECU baseball game. Patrick Mason coming up. Hour 2, Stephen Igoe, Hour 3, Giveaway, Hour 3. A lot more to go. Back with you after this.
Swung on, hit left field. The Braves are going to tie it. Here comes Thompson. Tie game. Murphy with a single to left.
Hey, sports fans, one of the most beloved athletes ever to play for the Atlanta Braves, Dale Murphy, is coming to Greenville on Sunday, April 2nd. Table sponsorship and ticket information to a dinner with Dale Murphy is available now at pr927fm.com. Don't miss your chance to meet a living legend and hear Dale Murphy talk about his career, leadership, resilience, integrity, and more. It's a dinner with Dale Murphy, Sunday, April 2nd. Details available now at pr927fm.com.
Do you suffer from chronic aches, pains, or muscle tightness? Hey, I'm Jordan Mikesell with Bodies in Balance in Greenville. With degrees in physical, occupational, and massage therapy and certifications in stretching and flexibility, we know how stretching and massage can bring long-term results so you can live a pain-free and healthy life. Continue enjoying the activities you love by calling or texting 252-916-4530 to schedule your first stretch consultation or massage today. For more info, visit bodiesinbalance.com so you can start living an active life today.
Chico's in downtown Greenville is celebrating 40 years of business all month long in March with a special anniversary menu. Grab your amigos and enjoy blasts from the past menu favorites. And coming up on Saturday, March 11th, join Chico's for their 40th anniversary fiesta with music by Purple School Bus and DJ Dog from 1 to 6 in the Chico's parking lot. Brought to you by Minji's Bottling Group, Bud Light, and U.S. Foods. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
You've worked hard to make your business successful, and that's why it's really important to always have a bank that's in your corner when you need them. This is Chris Richards from First Bank, and our experienced team of local bankers includes Lee Watson, Ashley Capps, Bonner Latham, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nisbet. To get the business services that are right for your business, come and see one of our experienced team members at First Bank on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville. First Bank, together with our customers, we're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive. Member FDIC.
Every March, Jersey Mike's turns money from subs into charitable donations.
And March 29th is Jersey Mike's annual Day of Giving, where 100% of sales are donated to local charities.
And to kick off all that giving, Peter gave me an apron. I'm honored.
Looking good, Danny. We've got subs to make, though.
Yeah. Now I know why you gave me the apron.
Yeah.
Join us Wednesday, March 29th for Jersey Mike's Day of Giving. Be a sub above.
This is Talbot Green, and I'm excited to announce our new partnership with Integrity Home Mortgage. Integrity Home Mortgage offers a wide variety of programs ranging from conventional, government, and portfolio loans, plus construction and lot loans. Our Integrity Home Mortgage team of Talbot Green, Braxton Green, and Joanne Weir offer over 50 years of experience and is committed to providing you with superior customer service.
To get started, call me, Braxton Green, at 526-8260.
Braxton Green, NMLS 222-3878. For informational purposes only, Integrity Home Mortgage Corporation is equal housing lender, NMLS 208516.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low, low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. University Sportswear ENC.com is your one-stop shop for all promotional products for your business. With over 1 million items to shop from, University Sportswear ENC.com offers high-quality products at prices to fit any budget. Visit University Sportswear ENC.com for contact information and to get shopping. University Sportswear ENC.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Thinking about takeout tonight? Familia can make everything real easy for you with a great selection of Italian food and more. Visit FamiliaNC.com to see the full menu featuring pizzas, pastas, salads, and homemade desserts. Place your order online and call 689-6330, and Familia will have your order ready in their convenient drive-through window for pickup. Finish up a busy day with a great dinner for yourself or your family with Familia. Familia on Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College. And a quick Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard update. Jacob Starling homered to left center field, and East Carolina jumps out to a 1-0 lead over Elon in the top of the first inning.
Play it, Shirley.
There's a
Play
star. Star bomb number 3
Yes, sir.
from the Pirate second baseman. You love to see it. Bless you.
Bless you.
No, it was a cough.
Oh, unbless you.
I take my bless you back. I do not bless you.
All righty then.
All right, George Mason trying to win this game by more than 2.5. They lead Richmond 58-55. 16 seconds left to go in the game. Pitt takes a 1-point lead over Georgia Tech with a free throw. 11:55 left to go in that one in the ACC tournament. We are going to be doing a lot of updates on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by Da Buck here in the next few days. All right, Shirley, right now, let's hear what Mike.
Oops,
I don't want to hear that.
I know,
that is not what I want to hear.
You're still screwing up.
I mean,
You know what? You can come over here and do this while I'm trying to do 3 other things.
Oh, gosh.
All right, then. Hush.
Chandler, your response?
I don't have one. I'm just glad she didn't hit me.
If
I was waiting for a punch.
Verbal abuse is okay. If we could just not get physical in there, I'd appreciate it.
I would too.
You know what? Now that I think about it, verbal abuse is, physical abuse isn't the worst thing. You know, Shirley, I've heard that that's how people learn.
What?
Learn what they did wrong and don't do it again if they get punched, hit, slapped. So maybe that would actually work.
I mean, that's how I learned.
Okay. Well, Chandler?
That's how I learned too. And I guess I'm going to have to learn my lesson by getting punched by Shirley if I keep running my mouth.
All right. Let's hear what Mike Schwartz had to say yesterday on our Flight by Yingling ECU practice report. Flight by Yingling, next generation of light beer. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling, wherever beer is sold. Enjoy it during this March Madness season. Mike Schwartz, before he split town, talked to the media one final time. Here's what he had to say.
Week with 4 games in 8 days and 3 in 5 days, and 2 of them being on the road, so that was a pretty unique stretch we just had. But you know what? The conference tournament time, best time of the year for college basketball. Everybody's 0-0 in terms of starting fresh. So we got back and we recharged, regrouped, re-energized, refocused most importantly, and head to see for Thursday's game versus USF.
Obviously familiar with USF, played them twice this year. Just what do you remember about those matchups?
Scoring ability in bunches, and that ended up being, I don't want to call it the difference because, you know, obviously we lost both games, but both games we had a lead in the second half of that game. We were up by 1 and they go on a quick 10-0 run. We never can get back in it. You know, we chip and fight back to 6 or 7, but we couldn't get back in it. And Tyler Harris was a big part of that. Then in Tampa a few weeks ago, we get off to a great start. It's a good first half, competitive first half. Last 3 minutes of the first half, they go on the same run. They go on basically a 10-0, you know, roughly a 10-0 run. They end up double digits, and we never could fight back. We could knock it down to 7 or 8 in the second half again late in the game. But their ability to score in bunches, they're so good on offense, starting with Tyler Harris, anchored inside by Shua. So, and they have so many good players on the wings. You know, they're the 3rd best offensive rebounding team in the league. So they not only can they get it up and they can score and shoot the ball, but they go rebound it. So just great respect for Coach Gregory and their program. And you know, they beat us twice, and we know we got our work cut out for us headed into this game.
Is it? Go ahead, man. Okay. Is it something where you got to try and shut down Harris? Obviously, you want to, but or is it take a couple other guys out of the mix and then the point difference?
I think you can go in with any game plan you want in terms of saying, hey, we got to take him out or make it here or there. The bottom line is this: if Harris gets going for them, it's very difficult for us to stop. I mean, he's had 2 big games versus us, but if you just focus on him, they have way too many weapons. Shua has hurt us. Miguel has hurt us. Bryant has hurt us. So they got a dynamic offensive team, and you know, and they mix and match with their zone defense and their man defense. Again, they're a really good offensive rebounding team. We have to be solid. We have to be solid. We have to execute game plan. We have to do the job, and you know, you got to hope that we can contain. It's very difficult just to shut down anybody's particularly really good team like that. We just hope we can contain their production.
Do you feel maybe better about yourself defensively with the way Jaden Walker's been playing? And I don't know if he had the same role when you guys played them before, but
that's a really great point. We looked at it, and first time we played South Florida at home was the first game that Javon Small was out. It was coming back after that Cincinnati game. And, you know, Jaden Walker at that point was playing 0 point guard. You know, he really just had none. He was still playing on the wing. Heck, he was still playing a little bit in our front court as we were playing small. Second time we played him, we went back and watched the beginning of that game. Caleb LeCount got off to a great start. He really did great things for us. As the game went, Harris got going, their guards got going, getting down to the paint. You got to keep them out of the paint because when they can get in the paint, they're really difficult to contain. They're spreading the ball out. They're spraying it around. They run in transition. But that being said, Jaden Walker's playing his best basketball of the season, both offensively and defensively. So you hope that's something that gives us a different dynamic that maybe we didn't have quite as much in those games. I think that's an excellent point.
We have seen Bailo the last few games. What's his status right now?
Non-COVID illness that he's not, he's with the team and everything, but as far as being, able to play, right now he's not playing.
You hope to have him back Thursday, maybe?
Don't know yet.
And then RJ as well, obviously going down.
Right. He's a day-to-day right now with that. He just he rolled his ankle late in that game or in the second half of that game, and so right now day-to-day.
And then, not to keep asking
No.
the question, but Javon, any chance we see him this week, or is it just a case he's not going to return?
You know what? I think it would something unique would have to happen for him to come back. I mean, he's doing great. He's doing great. I just think we got to be smart with everything that we do for him, because most important, more than anything, is his health, well-being, and his ability to continue to be 100% healthy. And that's all that matters. So if for whatever reason there's an opportunity and he feels that way, and Nate and our training staff feels that way, I know he's eager. I know he's a competitor, but it's not something we're expecting by any means.
Coming off this most recent stretch of, you mentioned 3 games, 5 days, could that potentially help you guys just moving forward into this tournament where you can play, back to back to back to back? And
Not if we play the way we played Sunday. We don't want that to be, because that didn't turn out very well. But you know what it is? It definitely it shows how difficult it is. I think this team, not from a minute standpoint, we're not very deep. We don't play a lot of guys, so you wouldn't look on paper and say that, hey, they're built to play more than one game. Right now we got to focus on one game, and that's all that matters. Can we find a way to go compete in that game? But if we were fortunate, or if it was a situation where we played multiple games, I love the mental resiliency of this team. I love the toughness of this team. 4 games in 8 days, starting with Houston last week, and then, I thought, basically we were right there in that Friday night game at Tulane, and there was some things that happened in the last 3 minutes of that game that made it difficult to come out of there with a road win. But I thought for 80 straight minutes we really competed at a high level. Did it get some weary legs on Sunday? Maybe. But we just focused on one game right now, and we got to be at our best on Thursday.
Not to dwell on the past too much, but going back to that Tulane game, you were called for 3 charges. Is there anything your players can do better in those situations, or is it just kind of a bang-bang call there?
Bang-bang call.
Yeah. I agree. Anything else? Yeah, I think we're good.
All right.
Mike Schwartz, before heading to Fort Worth for the AAC tournament. All right, that was our Flight by Yingling ECU practice report. Catching up on some comments. TJ, sorry I ignored you earlier. He said, Clipper, I'm on the way to the Elon game. Do you want play-by-play? Yeah, I want pitch-by-pitch. So just update us on the YouTube chat. Strike, ball, strike, foul. Update us every single pitch. Thank you. That'd be great. Let's see. Randolph. Our buddies in. Good afternoon, Chandler, Clip, and Shirley. Hit those likes, people. Thank you, Randolph. We have double-digit likes. That's the good news. Bad news. Still double-digit people, more people watching than we have likes. What are we doing? Hit the thumb. It's simple. Eric says, P-Mace better come prepared with a strong soup report this week. We'll see if we have a soup update from Patrick Mason. Kevin says, Starman homered to start the scoring at Elon. You love to see it. All right, let's take a break. Come back. Patrick Mason will join us. We got a final in the A10 tournament. George Mason defeats Richmond by 5. They advance. Right now, Pitt has a 4-point lead over the Ramblin' Wreck of Georgia Tech as they play in the second half. 7:46 left to go in the ACC tournament. Those scores on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by Da Buck.
Da Buck.
Take a timeout, come back, talk baseball, hoops, and more with Patrick Mason, who has a cool lid. Is that a new lid? New lid alert?
He says he's had it for a while. He'll tell us about it on the other side.
A fresh lid from Patrick Mason when we return after this.
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates!
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
University Book Exchange, UPE-ECU, University Book Exchange. University Book Exchange, UPE-ECU, University Book Exchange.
North Carolina State Parks invites you to enjoy camping your way. With the weather changing, booking your own cabin is the perfect solution for your camping getaway. Reserve campsites or cabins today at Jones Lake, Goose Creek, and Cliffs of the Neuse. Whether you enjoy traditional camping or air-conditioned cabins that can be rented with Wi-Fi, your next adventure can include hiking, beautiful scenery, and sunsets by the campfire. For information on booking a cabin, visit ncparks.gov.
Familia on Fire Tower Road in Winterville has a brand new updated menu. Open from 4 to 9 Tuesday through Saturday and 11 to 9 on Sundays, Familia has a variety of pizza combinations and classic Italian dishes that are sure to tackle your taste buds. Enjoy Thirsty Thursdays with $3 drafts with several local brews on tap. And who doesn't love brunch? Familia has Sunday brunch from 11 to 2. Follow Familia on social media for their pizza of the week for just $12. Visit online at familianc.com. Familia, that's Italian for family.
This isn't your regular cola, so this isn't your regular cola ad. No beach parties or family barbecues here, just Nitro Pepsi, the first cola ever infused with nitrogen. So forget everything you thought you knew about soda, because that nitrogen gives us a whole new experience. Think an infusion of smaller bubbles for a cola that's got a lighter, smoother texture. And don't get me started on the pour. You don't pour this like any other cola. We're talking turn the can completely upside down and watch as those bubbles cascade into the glass to create a frothy, luxurious foam topping. Can your cola do that? I didn't think so. Unless you've got your own Nitro Pepsi, in which case cheers to your great taste. Because you already know that the only thing better than the pour is the unapologetic cola taste. What else is there to say? From the creamy foam to the smooth texture to its unbelievably delicious flavor, this is cola like you've never had it before. Time to bring your taste buds to the next frontier. Nitro Pepsi. Smooth, creamy, delicious.
Greenville's newest sports bar is officially open. Coco's Sports Bar, located in the old Professor O'Cool's location right off of Greenville Boulevard, has daily specials, including $2.50 aluminum bottles on Tuesdays and $1 wings on Wednesdays. Along with their great food, Coco's has great entertainment for you and the crew to enjoy with karaoke on Thursdays, a live DJ on Fridays, and live music every Saturday night. Check out Coco's Sports Bar on Facebook for the latest information on menu items, drink and lunch specials, and more. Go Pirates!
This is Coach Blake Harrell, defense coordinator for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Town Insurance is your premier independent insurance agency for maximizing opportunities to minimizing risk. Town's insurance advisors offer expert professional advice to clients of all sizes. For personal or business insurance questions, call 756-8300 today. And quick Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard update from Elon. Joey Barini scored on a throwing error by the catcher, and then Riley Johnson singled up the middle, scoring Justin Wilcoxon. East Carolina leads 3-0 in the top of the second inning. Still one out in the inning and one runner on base.
Good for ECU to get out early for once. Seems like they have been having to come from behind quite a bit this season, as they did last night against Queens, but out to a early lead over Elon, the Phoenix of Elon. All right, Patrick Mason joining us with a fresh Iowa flat bill. That's a good-looking hat.
Thanks, man. Yeah,
Snapback.
It's tournament time.
Tournament time for the Hawkeyes.
That's right.
What are the chances they can make a run?
I don't know. If they get hot, I think they could beat anybody. They can shoot. So they got the winner of Ohio State and Wisconsin, which plays.
The Big Ten tournament is nuts, by the way. I remember leading up to it, everybody was basically tied for third or something. Everybody had the same record.
Yeah,
it was nuts. So there's going to be a lot. It really doesn't matter who the higher seed is in that tournament. Every game should be pretty good.
Right. Yeah,
so,
I could have had the two. But they dribbled it down their leg at the end of the season. So
Fran didn't stare hard enough at his team, apparently. All right, where to begin today? I guess while we're talking hoops, we'll stick there. First of all, the women, Patrick, getting a win last night against Tulane and advancing to the semis. They take on Memphis at 7 o'clock. And, everything, it was exciting last night. Everything really got going, though, when South Florida lost. That was a whole new lease on life, it felt like, for ECU.
It was incredible. That dam, that blocking, whatever it is, the roadblock got out of the way. I mean, now it's just hey, the tournament's wide open. Everyone's thinking, hey, man, we can get to the tournament now. And I thought that was really cool because obviously that was a team that really no one really wanted to play. And obviously I think they had one loss all year in the conference. So just to get them out of the way is huge, and it just kind of opens up the path for something special.
And all ECU has to do is beat teams they've already defeated. Outside of SMU, they lost by 1, went 0-1. Every team that was left in the tournament there, ECU had defeated this year. That includes Memphis, who they split with, lost at home, won on the road.
Yep. Yeah, I think that if I remember correctly, the Memphis game was, oh my goodness, it was some Wednesday game, but
Education Day type thing.
Yeah, and they should have had that game, and they just kind of gave it up at the end. And like you said, everything is winnable for them, and they looked really good at times yesterday. Tulane made a late run. I think they went 15-3 run to close the third and tied up the score. And then ECU just put the clamps on and went away from it. So, it was really fun. And Maya Joyner was rebounding literally everything. She was just a beast. And there was one, she got a rebound, went coast to coast, 360 layup.
Oh, yeah.
It was incredible. It's wow, that's special. So if they just keep playing well, obviously, like you said, they can beat anybody.
So to win last night without McNeil, I expected A. McNeil to come out and have 25 tonight after struggling last night. To win without her, I think, said a lot about this team.
Yeah, and for Micah Dennis to score a bunch, Sania Johnson to score a bunch. You could see at Tulane, they said, hey, if we're going to lose, Danae McNeil's not going to be the reason. And, they were doubling her. Every time she was dribbling, off a screen, they just collapsed on her. And, she made a ton of good decisions, and she, made some good defensive plays. But, yeah, to win without, I think she scored, 7-8 points. So, just to win without her, carrying the load was huge. And it just shows that, they had some players that step up at the right time.
I looked at women's bracketology. I was curious after South Florida lost to CU. Okay, what's it look like now? They had Memphis going in as the automatic qualifier and had them as a 13 seed playing North Carolina in Chapel Hill, which is the last time the men went to the tournament. They took on North Carolina, who won the championship. Last time the women made the tournament, they played Rutgers, who went to and won. Did they win or lose
Yeah,
the
they
championship?
won. They won it that year.
Yeah, so all we do is play against eventual champions.
Yeah.
Now, both of those teams were 16 seeds. It had Memphis as the 13, which Memphis and ECU, very similar. You would think if ECU made it, they'd be around that 13 line, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, very similar. I think their, net is different, but I mean, in the conference wise, it really just came down to Memphis percentage points. Like they played one fewer game in conference play, so that's how they got the 2 seed. I guess they're in the same round at this point, so I guess it really doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, they're very similar, and I don't know. The more I look at this, though, like you just don't want to be the team that plays ECU. I mean, I think ECU has its own shortcomings, just shooting the ball particularly, but just defensively, I mean, you really got to be on your stuff to play this team, and they can kind of get you any night, and I think if they can kind of keep this intensity up, anything's possible for them.
Patrick Mason joining us inside the Pirate Radio studios. Women's hoops tonight. If East Carolina beats Memphis tonight, we will have a triple header at Pirate Radio tomorrow. We'll have our watch along at 12:30 for ECU and South Florida. We'll have Pirate Radio live from 3 to 6, and we'll have our first ever women's basketball watch along as the Pirates try to make it to the NCAA tournament. So that's what's on the line.
It's going to be fun. I mean, I was fired up watching yesterday, just watching how excited they were and just like how they played. And Sania Johnson afterward was just like, we're coming for it. We didn't come here to win one game, and I just love that fire.
It was a good mix of seeing how excited they were and also just seeing how subdued they were after the win. Like, all right, this is why we're here.
Yeah,
like there wasn't any Gatorade baths or anything.
Right, like they expected to win, which I think is pretty cool.
All right, on the men's side, their path to the NCAA tournament looks a lot more difficult than the women. Unless and there's no way unless Houston doesn't make the trip, they will be awaiting the winner of ECU and South Florida. And Houston is a juggernaut, as we saw in Minji's a couple weekends ago. But the Pirates trying to win a conference tournament game for the first time in a long time, and to do so, they might have to do it undermanned, obviously without Javon Small. We're hoping that R.J. Felton's good enough to give it a go. Talking to Michael Perry a moment ago, he was super impressed with the way R.J. came back to the game on Sunday and was able to close it out. And you heard Mike Schwartz earlier talking about, can he, deal with the soreness? How's he feel today? How's he feel tomorrow? But man, without RJ, I don't like our chances at all. With him, we got a shot to beat USF.
Yeah, you basically need RJ to play, and I don't know if it was a little bit of gamesmanship or if it's really in doubt. But Mike Schwartz just he kind of said day to day, and we're gonna keep monitoring it. But yeah, I mean you need him to play. I mean he's a guy who just is ball dominant. He gets the ball and when you need it, and just he scores and he flies in from everywhere and gets rebounds. I mean he's probably one of the hardest working players in the team. So you need that. I mean if you don't have that, you're already at a huge disadvantage.
Patrick, do you recall the first two meetings, especially the one here in Greenville, when East Carolina lost to USF? And what I remember is the little guard,
Tyler
Harris from Memphis, and then the big fella inside who had a huge second half against East Carolina, and they hit him in multiple ways, inside and outside.
Yeah, and I think, I actually asked Mike Schwartz about this, was maybe the difference coming into this matchup is just the way Jaden Walker has been playing, and just playing the point guard and just, being that guy with the ball, but also defending, an on-ball defender. So I guess it's kind of curious, how they're going to play that matchup with Tyler Harris, because, he has obviously the ability just to jack threes and hit them all. So, I know Caleb LeCount was on him a lot. And, so I think if you can maybe just find a different defensive answer, I don't know if there is an answer, but just a different defensive option for that, things could go your way.
Yeah, my dad really enjoys the too small taunt, because Chandler and I do that quite a bit, watching games in Minji's. And if I recall, Lewis hit LeCount with the too small a couple times, which there's no other player in the country he can do that to.
Right. Yeah, it's very few, when you can actually pull that out, and it's like, oh, this actually kind of works.
It's legitimate.
Yeah.
So that's if Houston's not to cut down the nets, do they cut down conference tournament nets?
I think so.
I guess some teams do.
Yeah, I guess it depends. It's like, the Stanley Cup, you touch the trophy before you go there.
There are some teams that have national championship aspirations that won't, but some teams do. If it's not Houston at the end in Fort Worth, who would win this conference?
That's the thing. Like maybe someone who gets Houston. Like I really don't know an answer. I think it's kind of like the women in a way, where South Florida was kind of like the clear favorite, and there's kind of a jumble behind them. And I don't know. Like, honestly, maybe 2 weeks ago, I was thinking Tulane might have a shot.
I know.
And then now, just the way they closed the season, it was so head scratching, and like even they just didn't get it together. It was really weird. So I don't know.
I feel like they're a good team, but like seeing them 2 games against East Carolina, if they're the 3rd best team in the league, we are a lot better than I thought we were. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And that's where they finished. Memphis had Houston on the ropes over the weekend. Houston able to survive, but yeah, I mean it's Houston's to lose clearly, but we've seen it happen before. So.
Yeah, I mean Houston it's a different breed of basketball. I mean they just look like grown men out there, and they're serious. But I guess if you're number one and everyone's coming for you, you're going to slip up eventually. And they almost did against Memphis, but it's definitely theirs to lose.
Patrick Mason joining us inside the Pirate Radio studios. All right, we got ACC tournament game 2 today going down the stretch, and Georgia Tech trying to stay alive. They are down by 6 to Pitt, 79-73, 2:18 left to go in that game. St. John's cruising right now over Butler by 15 with about 10 minutes left. Colorado a 1-point lead over Washington in the Pac-12 tournament, 44-43 with about 12 minutes left to go. 5 o'clock tip-off, St. Joe's, George Washington, as they continue in the A10, DePaul Seton Hall in the Big East. A lot of games coming up tonight, including North Carolina, Boston College at 7 o'clock, NC State and Virginia Tech scheduled to tip around 9:30. So wall-to-wall college basketball, and even more games coming up on Thursday with the AAC tournament beginning. Big Ten, where are we at with the Big Ten? Did you mention when they get going?
Yeah, they kick off tonight.
Ohio State, Wisconsin tonight, 6:30. Winner gets Iowa.
That's right.
And then after that, Minnesota, Nebraska. I'm going to stay up late for that.
Do not watch that if you value your sanity.
I have some Minnesota basketball-related questions tonight at Sports Trivia at AJ's, which Patrick made his debut appearance last week.
I did.
What'd you think?
It was fun, man. I loved it. I gotta make that part of the regular routine because I had a good time.
Yeah. Did you assist in any answers?
I assisted on a few. There were some, I was just out of my league, but yeah, I assisted on a few, especially like the Big Ten. When it got into that aspect and some of the baseball questions, I think I stepped up a little bit. But
all right.
It was definitely more of a team effort for sure.
Good to hear. Ronnie Woodward and his crew will be coming out tonight, Chandler. So another competitor for you to play against. All right, let's take a break. When we return, more with Patrick Mason. We'll continue to get you keep you updated on what's going on. We'll talk some baseball when we return, update the score, and talk about last night's win against Queens. Pirates needed extras to do it, but they got the job done. More to go. Pirate Radio Live, back with you after this.
Jeff Stein, our special guest from Brown & Wood. Hey, Jeff, electric cars are coming. What's that mean for Brown & Wood customers?
For the customers, like it or not, EV is coming. We've installed 5 electric vehicle chargers here at the dealership. We have the all-new Cadillac Lyric coming at 1st of 2024, and we've just seen the first reservation for the new Sierra EV.
People are interested in electric vehicles. How can they get up with you?
They can visit us at brownandwood.net or 329 Southwest Greenville Boulevard. Brown & Wood, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal: to make sure you leave a happy customer.
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates. They're open every day and have live music every night, along with 18 big screen TVs to watch all your favorite sporting events. Tuesday, it's karaoke with DJ Captain Morgan. Wednesdays, it's line dancing. Thursday night is the dance party with DJ Kid Scene. And live music every Friday and Saturday night with the best bands on the East Coast. Follow the Buck on Instagram for more information on scheduled events, and we'll see you at the Buck.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsey Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty. I've been in Greenville over 25 years. I'm a proud graduate of ECU. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, then give me a call today and let me help make your real estate process fun and easy. I keep it simple and explain the process every step of the way. My goals are your goals. There are no long-term contracts, and you always deal with me from start to finish. The right home starts with the right agent. Call me, Scott Harris, at 347-1857. Go Pirates!
Saturday, April 8th, the NC Strut Masters Championship is back, presented by Leopold and coming back to Farmville. Turkey hunters from all over the country are headed east to put their skills to the test, and the top scoring birds will win big cash prizes up to $30,000. Plus live performances by Nate Hosey and the Carolina Treat Band. A weigh-in will be held at R.A. Wood Farms, 39 Vanderford Thomas Road in Farmville, North Carolina. Registration is now open for two-man teams at ncstrutmasters.com. Brought to you by Sam Jones Barbecue, Big Rock Power Sports and Marine, Mossy Oak, Spring Hill Outfitters, Carolina Caliber, Mossberg, Doug Henry of Farmville, and Hayden Outdoors Real Estate. Deadline to register is April 3rd, or the first 165 teams. And we'll see you there for the NC Strut Masters Championship.
Take control of your health today with Arc Point Labs. Are you feeling tired, exhausted, or lethargic and not able to explain why? Fatigue can be caused by a number of things such as lack of sleep, illness, or chronic disease. The Arc Point Lab Fatigue Panel is designed to help people understand what could be causing their fatigue. Get a simple blood test today by getting started at arcpointlabs.com or call 629-6228. Arc Point Labs. Accurate, reliable, confidential testing. Visit arcpointlabs.com. We have some pretty refreshing news coming to you from Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer. It's called the Essential Collection. It's made with coconut water and real fruit juice, so you know it's always going to have a refreshing, superior taste. Plus, it's only 90 calories and has 0 added sugar. This might just be the most refreshing seltzer yet. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer Essential Collection. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989.
This is Josh Gross, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese, biscuits, and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. And both locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations, serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas. Country Mart, fueling you up with great foods and your engine with great gasoline. And a quick Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard update. Elon had the bases loaded with 2 outs, but the batter struck out looking, and they can't push any of those runs across. So East Carolina is still holding on to that 3-0 lead heading into the top of the 3rd.
All right, there is your update on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by Dub Buck. Getting a lot of K's early, it looks like, from Jake Hunter, the Pirates righty. Getting the start. We'll talk baseball in a moment, but first, it's time to play Guess the Line. Have you seen the line on tonight's women's game, Patrick?
No.
Chandler? Shirley?
No, I haven't.
All right, I'll let you go last. Chandler, what is the line for Memphis, East Carolina? Split during the regular season. Pirates won by 8 on the road, lost by 8 at home. What's the line tonight?
I'm going to say Memphis -3.
All right, Patrick.
Man, I was going to say 2.5 Memphis.
2.5. Shirley?
I'm going to go 3.5 East Carolina.
One of you is exactly right. And that person. There was no reason to even ask Patrick or Shirley because Chandler gave us the answer right out of the gate. A field goal. Memphis -3.
I love that.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
But just because probably seeding and stuff, but like, I don't know. It seems right on.
Yeah. Speaking of Memphis and 3, I look back at Ricky Brooks's no-hitter that he threw for East Carolina in the mid to late 2000s.
I saw this.
I was at that game on Sunday. Did you see that tweet, Patrick?
I don't think so.
The Memphis starting pitcher had a good game. That was a really fast Sunday ball game. Usually Sunday games kind of lag. You got your bottom of the rotation in, your bullpen's done, and you see a lot of 15 to 7s or whatever. This was a quick one. It was a no-hitter thrown by Ricky Brooks. The opposing pitcher that day for Memphis is a 3-time Pro Bowl kicker and multi-time Super Bowl champion named Steven Gostkowski.
Hey.
Went to Memphis on a baseball scholarship, walked on to the football team, was a starting pitcher, and eventually got a lot of money kicking in the NFL.
Isn't that wild? Like, you're really good with your arm, and then you make money with your leg?
He's just got awesome extremities.
Apparently.
This guy's
That's wild.
Like, his body, nothing to write home about. Subpar, but his extremities.
Athletic limbs.
Just one side of his extremities just
the right side.
Yeah,
left side's nothing.
Really good at throwing and kicking things. I wonder what he was like as a toddler. Or
You should see him throw left-handed. It's terrible.
And kick. It's awful.
Yeah.
Right.
But on his right side, man, he's all right. So Steven Gostkowski, put that in your trivia pipe and smoke it. All right, Pirate baseball rallies last night to knock off Queens, and people were freaking out. A, because the broadcast had no sound. B, because the Pirates were wearing Easter candy uniforms. C, they were losing to Queens.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, they get the win, and all is right with the world, Patrick.
The uniform freak out is unwarranted. It's one time. I think it's pretty cool. Like, I liked it. It's something different.
How about 2 times?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
3 times.
Okay, go ahead. It could be your midweek uniform. I'm just a dude who just really does not care what you wear. Just go out and play. But I actually thought it was kind of cool. It's like reminded me of the color rush, in the NFL Thursday games. Just something different.
I don't mind being different. I don't. Again, I'm pretty liberal when it comes to the uniforms, changes in sports. I roll with the punches. But if I had my way, I like, and I'm speaking more so to Major League Baseball, but really baseball across the board. I want white uniforms at home, gray on the road. I want the white uniforms at home to say the team's nickname, Braves. On the road, I want road gray that says Atlanta, the city name.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is. As I said earlier this week, that's how I was raised, Patrick.
Because baseball is like a traditionalist kind of thing, right? But I also like the vests in baseball. I think that looks pretty cool.
That was a real 90s thing, I want to say.
Yeah.
We should name every team. Like, the Reds had them. Marlins had them.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think who else. The Diamondbacks, maybe? Maybe not.
Igoe's Mariners, maybe.
Maybe.
Diamondbacks feels right. White pinstripe. They went crazy. They went pinstripe and cutoff.
Yeah, and then they added the rattlesnake and the whole thing.
Yeah. So I mean, look, jerseys like everything else out of control in sports, and to do this one time, it's okay. I'm also not a fan of the color on color baseball uniforms because they look like pajamas.
Yeah, you could have added some a tone, right? You could have different pants. You could have white pants, or you could have different kind of pants with it. But yeah,
but again, I don't like that either because I like white and gray. So I am very stuck in my ways on this.
Uniform traditionalist.
For baseball, like for basketball and football and other things, I don't mind mixing it up. Like when I was growing up, Washington wore white at home, and we're one of the very few. Washington and Dallas wore white at home. A lot of other teams, I would say almost all the other teams, wore color at home.
Yeah.
And I was kind of fascinated by that because I felt like anytime Dallas was in the blue uniforms, you had a chance to beat them. You'd never beat them when they were wearing white. But like every other NFL team, think about it, wears their color at home and not white.
I'm kind of coming around. I think just baseball in general, I'm definitely coming around to, bat flipping and celebrating. And, at a very lesser extent, just wearing a funky jersey is pretty cool. I don't know. It's just something different. Anything to get people more involved. And apparently it sounds like people were less involved because they hated it. I like it. It's just something different.
Definitely different. How'd you feel about those awful Bears orange jerseys they wore against Washington this year?
Yeah, they were kind of weird, but
yeah,
if you wear it one time, I like it. If you can't have that your main uniform,
all right,
then it becomes awful.
One time, Patrick.
Yeah,
the one timer.
That's right. But I was just gonna say, but going to the game, I mean, that pitcher from Queens he was a horse, man.
I'm not ready to go to the game yet. We got way too much more to talk about. Eric says if they were all purple or all gold type of color rush jerseys, then yes, but those powder puff jerseys got to go.
Yeah.
Newton says if you're wearing the Barney lavender, wear dark purple tops and lavender pants, all purple caps.
So then you just want your color, the whole thing. But that's the whole point of a different uniform. Just be a little different.
People don't like change, man. People do not like change.
I mean, you don't have to wear it.
All right, now you can talk about.
And you couldn't, like you said, you couldn't hear that at the broadcast. I guess maybe that made it worse. You had to stare at it with no sound.
There was a lot to be angry about last night. But the Pirates get 1 in the 9th, 3 in the 10th to win it. But you were speaking on that pitcher that we saw.
Yeah,
Daniel Buff Bagwell.
Man, he balled out yesterday. Like, you can be all upset, but he just pitched a whale of a game. Like, it is what it is.
129 pitches thrown, 8 hits, 2 earned runs, walked a couple, struck out 7, and did his job. I also want to give credit to Garrett Saylor, who's kind of working on getting his strength back after a sickness he suffered and lost 10 pounds to start the season. And got off to a rough start, but kind of the Garrett Saylor story, facing adversity, bouncing back, all that, ends up going 5 innings for East Carolina, allowing 2 earned runs on 3 hits.
Yeah, it was a really solid start. And honestly, I mean, there was nothing wrong with his start, in my opinion. Like, I think there was maybe some misplays in the outfield as well that kind of contributed a little bit. But, I mean, he pitched over it, and I think he pitched awesome, and I think he started 2 games last year, and he wasn't really successful doing that, and he was awesome out of the bullpen. So to go back into that role and really shine, especially coming off an illness like that, I thought he did great.
We are used to seeing East Carolina play stellar plus defense year after year, and that so far this season, it's early, but that has not been the case this year. It hadn't been as clean.
Right, and I wonder if it's just early in the season and stuff, or it's just guys just playing new positions and, being uncomfortable a little bit. And, like Luke Nowak started as a DH. He's coming off an off-season surgery, then he's thrown out in the outfield. He's probably just getting his bearings a little bit. And, not to just single him out too, but just kind of everywhere. It's just kind of been a little bit sloppy at times, but also, they can still make some good plays. I think it was, Saturday, they had 3 errors or something.
Yep.
And a passed ball that scored another run. So, if you can clean that stuff up, they'll be fine. But yeah, has been a little shaky to start.
Trying to get Lane Hoover going, got him out of the lineup today, give him a day off, and he has made so many clutch at bats for East Carolina in his career, and has done so many good things. You hope he can find it, because he's been a big part of their success. He has struggled here to start this season.
Yeah, he's incredibly valuable. I mean, his bat-to-ball skills and just putting the ball in play is super valuable, and I have no worries or no issues thinking that he's going to round back into form. He's going to be just fine. Just like you said, maybe give him some little break here. I mean, they played a ton of games. They got 3 over the weekend, 2 in the midweek, and then 3 coming up against a tough Liberty team. So, yeah, just give him a little rest, and he'll be fine.
3-0 at last check. Shirley, are you keeping an eye on that? Any updates, ECU and
It's still
Elon?
3-0, bottom of the 3rd. Jake Hunter, by the way, dealing because he's already got 5 strikeouts on the afternoon, and he's only gone 2 1/3.
I like that. You get these midweek games, Patrick, and you see a lot of 1-inning, 2-inning work. Saylor goes 5. We'll see if Hunter, he's working his way through the 3rd here, how long he can go. And that's very valuable in these 5 game weeks to get these guys going 4 or 5 innings.
Yeah, it's incredibly valuable just to save the bullpen. And right now, I think ECU is kind of figuring out their bullpen as well. Like, I think they have a couple guys they feel comfortable with, but there's a lot of other spots where, it's up in the air. Guys have to come and prove themselves. So just to take that pressure off and, not have the bullpen cover 6-7 innings is huge.
Patrick, do you think ECU is a little left-handed heavy in the lineup?
Yes, I do.
William said, credit to Mason for asking the tough questions and standing your ground with Godwin. Igoe and the other reporters need to take a sip of what you're drinking. And what is he drinking? Hot soup.
To be fair, Steven did not cover that game. But, Steven does a good job as well. But, yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was a fair question.
It was. It's not, and he's going to answer the way he answers. Like, it's not a huge deal.
Right.
Now, I mean, you don't have a vendetta against Cliff Godwin moving forward, and
no.
I don't think he has one against you either. It's
right.
one
And
of those things.
and at the top of the interview, he said that lefty was tough against left-handers. So I think that's why I asked the question. And then, you come back the next day, and I think I asked Cliff, 2 or 3 questions, and he answered them fine. We went about our business professionally, and we kind of moved on. But, in that moment, I just thought, hey, this is part of what played into the game, so I'm going to ask about it.
And in defense of Cliff, so what was the question? Do you wish you weren't so left-handed dependent?
I think it was something to the effect of, like, do you wish you weren't so, left-handed dominant in a lineup? Because they had 7 starting left-handed batters, and then they had an 8th when they pinch hit. So
I mean, he could have said yes, but there's nothing I could do about it. Right,
yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, I guess you can answer it how you want, but it was just, something he can say, yes, I wish we would have been a little more balanced, or
it's glaring when you watch a game and see all those lefties, and now if you get good left-handed pitching, and we've talked to what have they done to combat that? Well, when we talked to Moylan and JC and all them, they face a ton of left-handed pitching in the offseason and BP and all that to try to combat it. So
yeah, and I was wondering too if he would just say, hey, we actually don't look at handedness, and these guys have maybe opposite splits, or I mean, it'd be the same thing if you got 8 righties in a lineup against a tough right-hander. You'd wonder the same thing. Don't you wish you had some different looks to show the pitcher? And so
all right, Eric earlier said P-Mace better come prepared with the strong soup report this week. He just said, yes, soup talk.
Soup.
Perfect day for some chowder. You had soup in the last week?
I haven't, but I'm actually planning on making. I guess it's not really soup, but yeah, I was gonna make some chili actually.
Okay.
I know it's not really soup, but it's like one of the last few days when it's kind of gets a little cold. Some good chili kind of day. I also had some thoughts of making some broccoli cheese soup. So it's definitely been like I've been thinking about it. I've been looking at some recipes. So I haven't gotten around to it, but it's definitely in the docket.
Yeah, I might go back to the old well. I made some ish, and need to do that again this weekend. You know what I hadn't had in a while? Some good like broccoli cheese potato soup.
Oh, the potatoes in soup is a game changer.
Yeah,
it's so good.
It's you get soft and just melt in your mouth.
It's a good bite.
Yeah. Soup talk. It's back. Remember Talk Soup on E?
Yeah, was it just called like The Soup?
The Soup, maybe?
Something like that?
See, I think, oh boy, you had Greg Kinnear, John Henson.
Joel McHale was the one that I always watched it.
John Henson was my favorite guy.
Joel McHale's in a show I really love, Community.
Yeah, Patrick, we've heard. It's not like it's some indie show.
It kind of is. It was like,
I like your fire.
It absolutely kind of is.
William, did you see that? Check out Mason over here getting pumped up about Community.
My indie show. I bet there's so many people who have not watched that show.
All right. Your host of Talk Soup, we'll get back to that in a moment. Greg Kinnear, 91 to 95. John Henson was in my wheelhouse. Hal Sparks, and then Aisha Tyler. And then The Soup came out, Joe McHale.
Okay.
That was 2004, and Joe McHale is host and co-writer, aired till 15.
That's the one I remember.
Yep. So there you go. So Community. I didn't watch it when it aired.
It was too indie for you?
It was way too off the radar. I was like, what? NBC? Do I have this channel? How do I find that? Is that on some satellite dish? But I did go back and like binge it or whatever once I got in the streaming deal. So it was a funny show.
It's on Netflix right now, and that's like literally the show where if I turn on Netflix, I just put on Community if I just don't want to pay attention.
I wish there were more episodes, but I do that a lot with the rest of Development.
Yes, the first 3 seasons of that are just incredible.
Did you just yas?
Yas,
queen.
And then when it went off the air and it came back and they're all old, I can't do that.
I'm a huge fan of Gillian Jacobs because she's on Comedy Bang Bang a lot.
Yeah,
and she was on Community.
Britta, right?
And she's very funny. All right, there you go.
Cool.
I think we're done. Anything else?
6 seasons in a movie.
Iowa, if they lose tomorrow, are they in the tournament?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, they're safely in.
I think so.
Big Ten's getting almost everybody in.
Yeah.
Big 10, Big 12 is going to pack the field of 68 this year.
They just all beat up each other, in the season, but I think they have a good enough resume.
Was Iowa the team that lost to Northwestern State on a buzzer beater? That's one of my favorite buzzer beaters of all time.
It's entirely possible.
When you think of tournament buzzer beaters, what do you think of?
Maybe it's like a Kemba Walker shot.
Oh yeah, he did it. That was a Big East tournament.
Yeah, he did a lot of those.
Northwestern State. It was on a black court. Shocks, Iowa.
What year was that?
2006.
Okay.
And I love the call from Vern Lundquist. So let's hear it. And I think Raftery might have been on it too. Northwestern State, Iowa. I love this too, by the way. Now everything is so uniform. We've got our cute NCAA blue courts. Back then, they used to play on these wacky home courts. This is, it says Oakland, I guess. It's got the black, painted black inside the three-point line.
Like their own vinyl on it.
The key is black. I used to like the different-looking courts, and now we don't get that. See, I'm traditional when it comes to baseball. I want it to be nice and uniform. Basketball, I like a little wackiness. I like a little something on the court. Let me see if I can.
As long as no one's wearing the wackiness.
Yeah. So let's see if people. Look at this shot from the corner. Haluska got a good look.
Basketball has the best playing of the rim.
I know.
Like in the NBA, it doesn't come close.
Credit to technology too. The rims have gotten louder. The bricks are harder.
Yeah.
The nets, the makes are louder as well.
Yep. It's so fresh when you make, but college, for whatever reason, just that rim, that iron sound is incredible.
So you don't remember this?
Not really. See, I wasn't huge into college sports until I went to college.
Oh, I see.
Like there was just so many just pro outlets for me.
And you didn't grow up an Iowa guy?
Not really, honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I went to Iowa, and I've just loved them ever since. But
all right, well there you go. There's a little history lesson for you.
And I went to Iowa in 2008, so just a couple years before my fandom.
10-4. All right, thanks for hanging out, Patrick.
Thanks.
William says Hunter throwing seeds out there, 6 Ks through 3, starting to feel a little better about paying $74.99 to watch one game on Flow Sports. I had to take out a loan to get that Flow Sports deal.
Die hard.
Let's take a break. Hour 3 on tap. We'll update you on everything going on, including Pirate Baseball. Stephen Igoe will join us. We'll have a giveaway. All that and more. Back with you after this.
Deep to left field, this should be the ball game. Dale Murphy wins it for Atlanta.
Hey, baseball fans, when's the last time you met a 2-time National League MVP and a 7-time Major League Baseball All-Star? Well, your chance is now, as Pirate Radio is bringing Dale Murphy, legendary Atlanta Brave, to Greenville on Sunday, April 2nd. Table sponsorships and ticket information's online now at pr927fm.com. Don't miss your chance to meet a living legend and hear Dale Murphy talk about his career, leadership, and there'll be a question and answer session. It's Dinner with Dale Murphy, Sunday, April 2nd. Details online now at pr927fm.com.
Greenville's first ever Texas Fusion restaurant is now open for lunch. That's right, the Sidebar, located right beside the Dickinson Avenue Public House, now offers lunch Tuesday through Friday from 11:30 to 2:30. Come take a break from work and enjoy the tastiest food items around. Whether it's the honey chipotle chicken sandwich, smoked brisket tacos, chicken tortilla soup, chicken tinga nachos, or keep it simple with chips and salsa. To keep up with our ever-changing menu, food and drink specials, and more, follow the Sidebar on Facebook or on Instagram at sidebar.greenville. To keep your bodies active and engaged in the activities that you love, you need a good stretch. And at Bodies and Balance, that's the mission they follow to give you the best quality of life. With years of experience, the team at Bodies and Balance can create a stretch or massage program that is right for you. Now check this out. If you mention Pirate Radio, you get your first stretch consultation free. Yes, free. And that's not all. Mention Pirate Radio and your first time massage is only $1 per minute. Now that's a deal. Call 916-4530 and check them out online at bodiesandbalance.com.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
the best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville, do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
You've had your new computer a few years now, but lately it's been running super slow, acting strange, and you're worried about viruses and losing data.
This is driving me mad.
Let the experts at University PC Care in Greenville and New Bern professionally diagnose your Mac or PC to see what's really going on. They'll determine the root cause and not just symptoms, so you don't waste money fixing the wrong issues. Call 252-558-1280 for in-store or remote service, or make an appointment online at universitypccare.com.
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Vaughn. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Order Jersey Mike subs on the mobile app and get delivery right to your home, or save time and order ahead to skip the line to pick up from your nearest Jersey Mike sub location. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. And a quick Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard update. And East Carolina still leads 3-0 in the bottom of the fourth inning. And as we mentioned before, Jake Hunter pitching very well. 6 strikeouts, only 3 walks, and allowing 2 hits in 4 innings. Clip.
All right. Thank you, Shirley. That is positive news. Here's some news. I think Jim Boeheim's done.
He gave a speech after his game that was kind of like, it sounded like a retirement speech, but not quite.
And in true, like, whiny, sarcastic, jerk Boeheim fashion, he said, I gave my retirement speech on the court last Saturday, and I gave it to the press conference afterwards. Nobody figured it out. Well, just say you're retiring. Why do you got to do this stuff? But that's the way Jim Boeheim likes to go about things. I kind of respect it. I get a little cantankerous and sarcastic at times. Pretty much all the time. Stephen Igoe's here. He wanted to say something. Let me introduce him before he does. Hello, Stephen.
Hey, Clip.
Jim, yeah, that's interesting. I guess his last game is going to be a dagger 3-pointer at the buzzer, basically, by Wake Forest.
In Greensboro, which he did not want to play, correct?
His least favorite place. Did not like going there, and he's done. But it's about time. He has been around forever. Got that one championship with Carmelo, and that is all. I heard a discussion about, it was Jeff Nadeau and Rico Bosco talking about how there are very few active coaches that have won a championship, and of those coaches, even fewer, like 3 coaches have won a championship that are still coaching since 2010. It was like Bennett, Drew, and Self, and they were going over other names. They didn't mention Boeheim, but they mentioned Bob Huggins. Just think about how long Bob Huggins has coached, and he's been to like one Final Four, I think. Like, it just shows how hard it is and how hard the NCAA tournament is, how it's designed for the best team to not always win.
Does Pitino still count?
Yeah,
did his championship get stripped away? Did all the Louisville matches.
Does he only have one at Louisville? He didn't win at Kentucky? Tubby won at Kentucky. Did Pitino?
I need some trivia. People to chime in.
That's a good question. I always count that one. I hate the take away a championship.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if it did or did not, but it's just a question I have. Elon gets on the board in the bottom of the fourth. Leadoff double by Sprock. The game tracker I'm following does not have a first name, so I'm just going to go last name here.
Surely it sounds like a Star Trek guy. Sprock.
Casella singles home Sprock, and then Casella is caught stealing at second.
See ya, Justin Wilcoxon gunning him down. That was a great throw.
Yeah, phenomenal throw. 3-1, bottom four, East Carolina leads.
Patino did win one at Kentucky, so there you go.
There you
go. Shirley, you were going to say?
I was going to give you the name for Sprock, but it disappeared down here at the bottom of my screen. So
Sprock. He just goes by one name.
He goes by Sprock. He's like Ichiro.
Yep. He is compared to Ichiro in a lot of ways, Steven. All right, Pirates leading right now 3-1 on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard, presented by the Buck.
Good luck.
They win last night in dramatic fashion against Queens, Igoe. That was a fun game to follow online between Twitter, Boneyard Banner, and Hoist the Colors. Everybody was freaking out about a number of different things. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and honestly, it gave me... I got a headache watching the game, and I couldn't figure out if it was due to just one of those days where you just get a headache, or if it was because I was trying so hard to focus on the game since there was no audio. I didn't sync it with the play-by-play on the radio, so I was just sitting there watching it with no audio, and I felt like I had to focus so much more, whereas, baseball usually you can kind of have on in the background and look up when the ball hits the bat, and you combine that with as double dealing Danny Beal takes over for Jake Hunter in the bottom of the fourth, 2 outs, nobody on base. You combine that with the fact that Queens was a club team in 2018 and had no business, realistically speaking, winning that game, and yet they were 1 out away from doing so. And, I mean, it may be hyperbole, but that would have been one of the most embarrassing losses in ECU baseball history. And, look, it's baseball. Crazy things happen. Their pitcher was on. The wind was blowing in. But still, ECU avoided disaster. I mean, Queens could end up being one of the worst teams in Division I and really hurt your RPI with one loss.
I had already planned the discussion. What's worse, getting swept by Bryant or losing to Queens?
Losing to Queens all day.
I was going to go swept by Bryant. That's 3 games?
Yeah, but Bryant is...
in the weekend? We're talking about a midweek game. All right, now we're having the conversation, and it didn't matter, but...
I'm just going straight up. You can't lose to Queens if you're East Carolina. You just can't do it.
First of all, I hate that comment because it almost they...
Well, yeah, I mean, they almost did, and
that's just like saying it's unacceptable.
It would have been unacceptable. You're telling me...
Do you fire the coach?
No, I'm just saying that you can't lose to Queens in baseball, and they almost did. Therefore, they avoided a disaster. I mean, I'm not one to overreact, but
yeah, okay.
This is a team that was a club baseball team 4 years ago. They lost to every decent team they've played. They've gotten crushed by this year. Now, this pitcher is basically their only good pitcher, and they basically, not to keep saying basically, they essentially
that's good.
Put their season on the line with this guy's arm, man. He had just thrown Friday and Saturday, and they let him throw 130 pitches on 2 days rest, which is just not healthy. So clearly they were going for it. They had a pitcher that was on, but you got to give credit to East Carolina for finding a way to pull it out. But you can't keep waiting until the 7th inning to wake up offensively, which is today they did not.
Glad to see they didn't do that today. Starman hit home run number 3 for ECU early in the ballgame. 3-1 as they play in the 4th. Igoe, old school. I know you don't like it, but there is something nostalgic about just pulling up that game tracker and watching it go.
It would be better if it was the true old-timey game tracker. Do you remember, like, when they had the animations and the guy, when the ball would, like, it wouldn't say what the play was.
Yeah.
And the little stick figures would hit the ball, and the ball would kind of fly in the air. And you honestly didn't know if it was going to drop in, you go over the fence. Sometimes it would come down, hit the fielder, and bounce out and be called an error.
I will say it's good. It's nostalgic and it's fun if you're just watching it. But Igoe actually has you don't pull like AP articles. You type your own articles that hoist the colors. You trying to cover the game without actually seeing it is a little difficult.
Makes it difficult. And I mean, I guess I could pay the $40 fee to watch this one game and charge it to my taxes as a business expense. But, you know, it's just I'm not going to pay $40 for one baseball game.
Also, is it about the money, or is it just about not wanting to pay for something called Flow Sports?
You know? Yeah, definitely both.
It's both, but like Flow Sports, I can't believe it's still a thing.
Basically, every CAA school they're tied into with, and I'm sure other conferences, they got to be making pretty good money. You think about it. I mean, if you're a fan of Elon, not that they're, but so many
there's
fans,
7 or 8 people.
Yeah, I mean UNCW.
There's a few.
All it takes is a few hundred times $40 a month. You're making some pretty good money.
Maybe we should start Bro Sports and
start charging all the random sporting events around town.
Yeah,
probably makes money,
and the parents will pay for it. You know,
that's not even counting ad revenue that they probably sell as well.
I mean, I'm trying to get Pirate Radio on Flow Sports. Try to advertise this show to all their viewers. All right, so ECU baseball back in action. How's Liberty this year, Igoe? You looked at them yet?
They're good. They have kind of underperformed to begin the year. They are known for their pitching this season. Usually they're known more for their bats, but they got a couple of frontline arms. And it's going to be a tough series. It's going to be really tough to sweep for sure. It'll be hard to win the series. I think ECU playing at home, you would give them that advantage, but I would expect Liberty by the end of the year to be a regional caliber team. The other interesting aspect of this series is usually these two teams scrimmage during the fall.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't this past fall, probably due to playing and because ECU scrimmaged Clemson and UVA with Backage now at Clemson. But they know each other well, and it should be a good matchup. If you don't follow college baseball closely, Liberty is basically a 2 or 3 seed every year in a regional.
Liberty, if you don't follow college sports closely, is a good athletic program. What they do in football, basketball, they lost in their championship, I believe, to Kennesaw State. So they're just good all around. They got that Jesus money rolling in, baby.
Yeah, they are rich. They have basically unlimited pockets. They can do NIL as a result of that. They can do just about everything facility-wise. So, yeah, they're a problem. I mean, I don't think name-wise they're there yet for sure. So ECU, basically every recruit that has an offer between ECU and Liberty is going to choose ECU, you know, from what I've covered. But at the same time, you know, they're paying their coaches a lot of money. They're investing a lot, and they've got deep pockets.
It's so refreshing to hear ECU winning recruiting battles, not necessarily over Liberty, but like Garrett Saylor the other day talking about how he made trips to state and how he said, I just didn't really like it there. I like the coaches a lot more here. I like the passion, the effort they put into baseball. And, I mean, I'm sure you hear that a lot, Igoe, when you talk to baseball recruits, getting recruited by bigger schools overall. But when it comes to baseball, East Carolina's right up there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's ECU from a culture perspective. If you're a baseball recruit and you take a visit anywhere in the state, I mean, ECU is by far and away going to blow you away the most. Fan support, program importance to the community. I mean, ECU baseball is gigantic for this community. And, you know, part of that is due to maybe the struggles or lack of the basketball program over the years. But ECU fans love a winner. Baseball consistently wins. There's tradition. And it's just an awesome place to be on a weekend. So the town at certain points kind of revolves around it. Whereas if you go to these other programs, UNC Wilmington is similar, but on a smaller scale.
With no football.
Yeah, and NC State and UNC, you know, State gets into it probably more than UNC, but even those two programs, have been, better as far as getting to Omaha. The passion just isn't quite there.
Yeah, it's the fans, but really, I mean, you got to give a lot of credit to Cliff and how it's his thing. It's one thing in life.
Yeah. It's always been good, but it's gone to a completely different level under Coach Godwin and his staff, and he is so passionate about it, and that plays a big role in it. I mean, when he took this job in 14 going into 15, it wasn't in a great spot, and he's definitely built it into something great. I mean, ECU baseball has always been known, but now it's nationally relevant.
Seen Treya Savage these last couple of Friday nights and looking really good. I got Carter Spivey starting on a Saturday, and I saw some stuff about Spivey, like, oh, do we go back into the bullpen, get him out of the rotation? He didn't pitch bad on Saturday, and they had some errors. He had one of the errors, which doesn't help him. But he felt pretty good about what he did, and we'll see him, I would assume, again this weekend. And then Sunday's been Josh Gross, and he had his best performance as a Pirate on Sunday. So how about that rotation? Is that something you think we'll see continue, and your thoughts on Spivey as well?
Yeah, I think it'll be the same three for now. You do have other candidates that can make that leap. Zach Root, if possible, but I kind of like him in the situation he's in, where he almost, not that just because he's a lefty, but he almost reminds me of C.J. Mayhew, where he can kind of come in mid-game, he can close out a game, get you out of a big spot, start him midweek. I kind of like having that guy who can do a little bit of everything, provide a different look.
Not to cut you off, but I always do it anyway. For ECU over the years, and this is going back a ways, it almost feels like their most valuable pitcher isn't the Friday night guy. It's that guy you're talking about. Remember Ryan Williams?
He pitched like 85% of games one year.
I mean, Saylor last year, Mayhew last year, who eventually turned into a starter, right?
Yep.
The guy that comes in the fourth inning when you need him, or can come in on the back end of a game and close it down, that's the most important role for an ECU pitcher, it seems like.
Yeah, and I just don't think many teams in college baseball have that guy. I mean, a guy who can go multiple innings or basically go multiple innings multiple times per week, no matter the situation. Definitely multiple. You don't have multiple of those guys. It's hard to find them if you're the average team. And I do think ECU prefers to have that guy and sometimes prefers to leave him in that role versus move him into the rotation. But yeah, I don't know. It's I like what the rotation is. Savage to me is, I think he will end up being the best starter, most important player, because he looks like a first-round draft pick right now. He is command, pitchability has taken such a leap. Spivey, I think, will be fine. I wouldn't rule out Spivey eventually going back to the bullpen. He's kind of become more of a contact pitcher, more so than a swing and miss guy, which is fine, but you do want some swing and miss at times. I thought Long Beach State had a good approach, but also would have liked to see more off-speed stuff. There's a lot of fastballs, and maybe part of that was because they were swinging so early in the count.
Right now, East Carolina up 3-1 on Elon as they play there in
the fifth.
Is the city called Elon?
I believe it is in Elon, North Carolina, officially.
All right, there you go. You ever been?
I've never been to Latham Park.
I kind of miss you crapping on Duke's Field and some road parks this year, Igoe. Hadn't had that yet.
Bro, Duke's, if I ever go back to Duke's on Campus Stadium, I'll throw up because it's one of the worst athletic facilities I've ever been to.
Which is crazy. I know they don't care about it, but they've got so much money, you would think they would do something with it, right?
I guess they're just happy renting/sharing. Is that our boy Charles Coleman?
Of course it is. It's Charles Coleman.
Excuse me, I got distracted there because I could just see his awkward self moving on the screen.
Yesterday, he played like 40 minutes and shot the ball twice, hit a 3, and that was it.
There he goes.
And
over
he just
the back.
got a foul.
Yep. And he still looks as awkward as ever.
He has thickened up.
He looks like the same guy.
Why are you hating?
I'm not hating on Charles Coleman.
You're crapping on Charles Coleman.
I'm just saying he's the same exact player he was 4 years ago when I was hyping him up.
You called him awkward. Let the guy live, man.
What were we talking about before I got distracted?
Nothing. ECU pitching. You had a great comment on Spivey and the pitchers. So
Josh Moylan gets caught stealing to end the top of the 5th.
That's probably on me. I've been talking about his triples and how fast he is, and he probably had that in his head and then got caught stealing. By the way, if these guys didn't come on Pirate Radio, they'd probably win more ball games.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. You think about it, ECU until last night, they were 0-2. They were winless after coming on Pirate Radio and after the Hoist the Colors Monday Night podcast. So I think
snapped a couple streaks.
We're hitting the double whammy. They're probably getting the hype from you guys, and they're listening to the HCC podcast on the bus.
Yep. There you go. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk some hoops, men's and women's variety, and have more for you. Also, there was something I read in the Hoist the Colors VIP chat this week, and maybe this is well known, maybe I'm out of the loop, and it was dropped very nonchalantly, and I don't know if it was a sarcastic comment by Igoe or if it's actually going to happen, but I have questions on it.
If it is what I think you're talking about, then we can't talk about it on the air.
Okay, so it's real.
Is it uniform related?
So it's real.
Yeah.
It wasn't sarcasm.
It's 100% real.
All right, well, sign up. Give Igoe money. Sorry, folks.
I'll give a hint. I just can't say what it is.
Okay, fair enough. We'll do that when we return after this.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
There's nothing more important than protecting your family. Fire ants can cause painful allergic reactions and even death. Protect your loved ones at home where you should feel the safest. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com to learn of our once-a-year treatment to guarantee you stay fire ant free. Tested and proven effective by your Eastern North Carolina exterminating professionals at Pest Tech of Greenville. Mention the crying baby for an extra 10% off.
Before you hit the road this travel season, be sure to get your tires inspected by the tire guys at Greenville Auto World. The Greenville Auto World service team sells all the top brands and economy tires if you need a new set. Need an oil change, state inspection, or AC repair? Greenville Auto World can work on any type of vehicle, and the monthly oil change special is only $29.99. Make an appointment now by calling 364-8730. For award-winning service, trust Greenville Auto World.
Hey Pirate fans, this is Coach Mike Schwartz. The physicians at Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center have been caring for our athletes at ECU for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for your sports injury or it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care, physical therapy, and diagnostic testing. They also provide urgent orthopedic care on the weekends. For experienced and professional services, call the folks at Orthopedics East at 757-2663 or visit them online at orthoeast.com. Go Pirates!
If you wake up in the morning with a backache, feeling more tired than you did when you went to bed, you probably need a new mattress. And the best place to get that mattress is Factory Mattress. Hi, I'm Kirk Smith, General Manager. For more than 40 years, Factory Mattress has been Greenville and Wilson's local mattress dealer. We guarantee the lowest price on the area's best selection with over 50 models to choose from. No seconds or overruns. Factory Mattress offers only first quality direct from the manufacturer. Sealy Posturepedic, Beauty Rest, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. The most highly trained sales associates with over 60 years of combined experience. Same as cash financing with zero interest up to 48 months and free local delivery. Face it, to have a good day, you've got to have a good night. So sleep better knowing you saved money at Factory Mattress, locally owned on Greenville Boulevard in Greenville, on Forest Hills Road in Wilson, on the web at factorymattressusa.com, and a proud member of Pirates Supporting Pirates.
Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. UniversitySportswearENC.com is your one-stop shop for all promotional products for your business. With over 1 million items to shop from, UniversitySportswearENC.com offers high-quality products at prices to fit any budget. Visit UniversitySportswearENC.com for contact information and to get shopping. UniversitySportswearENC.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio.
Quality solid wood furniture that lasts for generations. On sale now at Bostic Sugg Furniture. Save an extra 10% off store-wide, including beautiful in-stock and custom-order Amish-built solid wood dining rooms and bedrooms. Plus, take an extra 25% off accessories to complete the look and 6 months special financing. Enjoy a solid night's sleep every night on a new mattress with 48 months special financing now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
Chico's in downtown Greenville is celebrating 40 years of business all month long in March with a special anniversary menu. Grab your amigos and enjoy blasts from the past menu favorites like Cancun oysters, chili dog, costillas, and chili rellenos. The celebration doesn't stop with your favorite Mexican food. Drop in for one of those famous Chico's margaritas in the bar or outside on the patio. Hurry in, the celebration menu ends March 31st. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
Pirate Radio.
The
voice of the Pirate Nation.
Get lucky.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington has everything you need for game day or any other day for men and women. Whether it's dress, casual, or even a formal occasion, Russell's has you covered. They have served Eastern North Carolina and beyond for 40 years with quality clothing and personal service. Russell's Clothing on Main Street in downtown Washington, proud part of Pirates Supporting Pirates. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
George Washington up 23-16 on St. Joe's first half of the A10 tournament going on at Barclays Center. Charles Coleman ripping down another rebound. If they just give him the ball on offense, they could get back in this game. Instead, they turn it over. I mean, give Charles a touch. So that's going on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by Buck.
Buck.
All right.
Freedom.
3-on-2 break. They don't even look Coleman's way, and the guy buries the three.
Sad, man.
All right. ACC tournament. Syracuse loses on a dagger 3 by Wake Forest, and Jim Boeheim is apparently done as the head coach at Syracuse after 47 years. That is incredible. Also, earlier, Pitt knocked off Georgia Tech. NC State playing tonight, late night, against Virginia Tech. North Carolina, BC coming up at 7 o'clock. The Hawks are on a run, and they are on an 11-0 run here and trail by 2.
So I got a question. Does the A10, I mean, clearly they have a contract with the USA Network, but like are regular season games on the USA Network too?
Yes, there have been some regular season games on USA this year.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wonder what type of money they're making. I mean, it's good basketball.
Because there's no more NBC Sports Network on television. There is an app, but I think that's is part of that family.
Gotcha. Okay.
So they've moved some games over there. There's been like some Premier League games on USA and all kinds of stuff.
I mean, it makes sense because outside of like the random old TV rerun or a movie, when does anybody really watch the USA Network?
Now, I will say, Igoe, one of my favorite shows is Psych. You ever seen Psych? That was a great show.
I have not. I know that people that watch it love it, though.
Yeah, it's awesome. So they've had some of their own stuff. But outside, did you mention Raw?
I didn't.
Yeah, outside of that, you're right. Not a lot of.
They're going to more live programming, which, I mean, this day and age, everybody's streaming stuff. The only way to get notable live programming is to have sports.
I gotta say, I like the graphics, the score bug, the scroll. The word that's coming to mind is classy.
Yeah, I like it.
It looks pretty classy.
Has an NBC feel, obviously. So
we are big USA live sports fans. Oh, you have just found out. Speaking of basketball, speaking of tournaments, 12:30 on Thursday, watch along, East Carolina and South Florida, Clip Rock, Chandler Honeycutt, and Stephen Igoe?
Stephen Igoe.
Wow, this is a big deal. Igoe will be here. I kind of hope you don't make it now because we've got our order in for tiebreakers. And if you don't come, that's more food for me. So I'm happy if you're here. I'm happy if you're not. Either way.
I am excited, and I just hope that the Pirates play decently so it's a good game and not a bunch of three goggles that we throw up only to see bricks.
Chandler, you're excited Igoe's coming? Man, Chandler's really pumped up in there.
I am super pumped because I feel like the past several times we've had watch-alongs, there has been a tease that he would be here and then he wouldn't show up.
Yeah.
And it's just me and you, which is totally fine. I enjoy watching a ball game with just Clip, but it's going to be fun having Stephen Igoe and Patrick Mason here tomorrow.
Wait, Patrick Mason's not coming. I don't know where you got that information.
Well, Patrick's coming, then I'm out. So,
well, good news.
Patrick's
he's not.
out, but Stephen Igoe.
I can't sit in with the guy who Cliff Godwin hates.
Yeah, that's the rules.
No, but Stephen Igoe is here, and I am pumped.
Will you be wearing your uniform tomorrow?
My Aaliyah jersey is ready to go.
Mine is as well. Igoe, do you own a basketball jersey?
I used to have a Wake Forest Chris Paul jersey back in the day, but I have no idea where it's at.
I have a sleeveless reversible jersey. On one side, it's black, and it's got the Oriole bird logo. On the other side, it's just plain white. If I brought that in, would you wear it?
Why not?
All right.
Might as well go all in.
Do you have any other jerseys? I don't have any other basketball jerseys.
No, I have no other basketball jerseys.
Why do you have an Orioles logo on a basketball jersey?
When I went to Jersey, we went on the boardwalk or whatever, the boardwalk, and they had this store. I just wanted to be all things Jersey. I ate the food, like graphic tees and graphic. And I was like, I'm gonna get a sleeveless shirt. And what kind of logo should I put on it? And the Oriole bird really stood out to me for some reason. So I went with that.
I'm just honored to be able to wear such a extravagant piece of clothing.
It has been folded in the drawer for about 8 years
Make
now.
it as wrinkly as possible.
Okay.
That'll add to the feel.
All right, so that is coming up. Hang out with us. We've got giveaways for you, and we'll have some cool stuff for you, and a whole lot of fun coming up. 12:30.
Should I just go buy an ECU jersey from you?
That's up to you.
The store.
If you want to be real legit about it, sure, go do it. We will have Pirate Radio Live at 3 tomorrow. If the ECU women win tonight against Memphis, we're going triple header. We're going watch along for the AAC Women's Championship tomorrow night.
That's big time.
Yeah.
And what time is that scheduled to tip off? Late, right?
Is it 9?
I think it is 9 because they have the 3 men's games ahead of them. Because the final men's game is scheduled for 6 o'clock. So at the earliest, it would be 8:30.
Yeah, I think it's 9 o'clock. But Chandler and I have already locked ourselves into it. That's how much we love ECU and ECU women's basketball.
Did y'all stay up for last night's game?
Oh, I watched every second of it. That's not true. I tried to watch the beginning of it. I'm on ESPN Plus. I must have clicked on the wrong game, and it kept saying your event is about to start. I don't know how long I sat there waiting, but eventually I clicked back and found out the score was already 5-4.
Right.
I was so outside of that, I watched every minute.
So you watched probably 35 minutes of game action?
Yeah.
I thought it was a well-played game outside of the third quarter for ECU where they kind of hit a lull. And they have such a unique style under Kim McNeil where, to be honest, they don't have much of a half-court offense. They can't really shoot, but when they get on those runs, they create so much havoc defensively.
Yep.
Other teams just get, they lose their composure. It gets frantic, and they're just able to score in bunches. And Danae McNeil, who didn't have her best game last night, her and Sania Johnson, when they get on the fast break, they're great at finishing. And also, the biggest thing about last night was McNeil and Joyner didn't have their best game scoring the ball, and others stepped up. Micah Dennis, Johnson. Also, Morgan Mosley had some huge shots in the fourth quarter.
And I felt like they did good at the line. They did miss 6 free throws. They went 14-20 from the free throw line. But
all their shooting percentages for the year are not good.
Yeah.
So, that's not a – they hit some clutch shots, though, I will say. They just have to win with that style. And, Memphis did a pretty good job in the game I covered at Minji's when they beat ECU, limiting the turnovers and not giving ECU those buckets, those easy buckets. So it'll be interesting to see how that matchup goes tonight.
They got to be one of the best fourth quarter teams in the country.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I think the game they lost to Memphis was their worst, right? Here at home.
Yeah. Definitely one of their worst performances. Did y'all see somebody posted on Hoist the Colors? I didn't verify this, but bracketology, the women's bracketology.
Yes. Yeah, we talked about it.
Okay. Had UNC as the 4 versus Memphis as the 13.
Yes, in Chapel Hill.
Oh, really?
And you can basically slide whoever wins the American. If it's Houston, ECU, or Memphis, it's probably going to be around 13, right?
Right.
So
I would think in the 13 to 14 range.
But yeah, in Chapel Hill, would you go to that game? Would that be at Carmichael Auditorium probably?
I would probably try to go, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Women's hoops?
I mean, if it's in-state, I'm going to try and go.
Oh, man, that'd be cool. All right, speaking of Hoist the Colors. Oh, Karen Mason says on YouTube she's going to make soup this weekend. The mother of Patrick Mason, who is a soup lover, as we've learned, enemy of Cliff Godwin. Speaking of Hoist the Colors, I'm looking at the VIP chat, doing my thing, and I saw something that made me pause. Is this legit? Is this
Did
real?
you, lean back in your chair and then lean forward and be like...
Yeah, I did a double take, kind of a triple take, and I was like, "Is this old Igoe joshing around, giving us a little sarcasm? Every now and then he'll break it out. He's a very professional man. He's very close to the vest, but every now and then your sense of humor shows, Igoe. Are you just throwing this out, and or is this legit? And I missed it. I hadn't seen anything. You said you don't want to divulge too much information. You can go to Hoist the Colors, sign up VIP." Read it there. But what are you willing to tell us on this show?
Well, everybody loves uniforms.
Yeah.
And
some people hate uniforms, especially purple ones.
We got 10,000 views off the powder purple uniform jersey review article.
So you get a reaction.
100%. There will be something that will cause a reaction with the ECU football uniforms this season. I'm hearing a new lid is on the way.
I love a new lid. I'm wearing a new lid.
So maybe they're just getting team hats. Or maybe they're getting new helmets.
Team football hats?
Yep, team football hats for pregame and postgame workouts.
I don't know if that would get folks excited, but all right.
Old sideline or NFL draft cap would get people excited. So maybe they'll get some new sideline caps this year for ECU football.
Boy, NFL draft caps suck every year.
They are bad, and they continue to get worse.
I know.
Somehow.
I know. I feel like maybe I should have a job as a hat consultant.
The Panthers literally had a draft hat a couple of years ago where it looked like you would get it from a Wings in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah. I don't know I guess people buy them, so maybe they're doing something right. Maybe it's just not for us. All right. So there is that. Thank you for giving us at least a little taste.
A little morsel.
Yeah. All right. We need to, can you hang out another segment?
Yeah.
All right. Let's open up the booty bag, Shirley. Here on a third Wednesday.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
All right, you know what the prize is because we're giving it away all week long. Shrimp taco lunch at Chico's. And we're doing that in conjunction with them celebrating 40 years as an amazing business here in Greenville. Shirley, what caller will win that shrimp taco to Chico's?
6.
Caller 6. 317-1250. We'll talk more hoops with Igoe. Let you know what's going on in the baseball game and in conference tournaments. That's on the way after this.
Bud Light was brewed to be delicious and easy to drink beer, even when little things in life are hard, like when you're working late and happy hour has already started, but you're about to clock out and head over. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local retailer today. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Greetings, friends of Eastern North Carolina. If you're looking for a great place to work with competitive pay and a multitude of advancement opportunities, Pitt County Schools is hiring. We employ over 3,500 people, and we're one of the largest employers in Pitt County. We are currently seeking teachers, bus drivers, school nutrition personnel, facility staff, custodians, clerical staff, and more. We offer advanced leadership opportunities for our educators and competitive pay for our skilled labor force. If you want to be part of a thriving school system that focuses on educating students, growing our employees, and promoting positive mental and physical health initiatives, we encourage you to become a part of our Pitt County Schools family to help ensure success for the future of Eastern North Carolina. To fill out an application, visit our website today at pittschools.org. That's pittschools.org. And remember, education is truly a team effort. Pitt County Schools. Live and lead.
Hey, O's fans, don't miss out on any of this year's Orioles action by locking in a 2023 Birdland membership. Buy now and receive an exclusive members-only Adley Rutschman Celebration bobblehead with the purchase of any membership plan. Choose from a variety of membership options, including the all-new Flex membership, giving you the ultimate flexibility to pick the games and seats you want when you want. Catch all of the fun at Oriole Park. Buy your membership today at Orioles.com/membership.
Spring merchandise is arriving daily and we need to make room. Hey Pirate fans, it's Russell with Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington. Rhonda is taking markdowns of 75% on all remaining winter merchandise for men and women. This is our biggest sale of the year, so don't miss out. Outerwear, sportswear, dresses, and tops, all at 75% off. This is your opportunity to view all the new spring goodies and save a bunch on sale merchandise. Shop the biggest sale of the year now going on at Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington.
Go Pirates!
Fifth Street Hardware and Tap Room is bringing the luck of the Irish to you starting on March 17th. The green beer will be flowing all weekend long, and the party kicks off with live music on St. Patrick's Day from 3:30 until 10 p.m. The green party continues on Saturday, March 18th, with live music all day and night starting at noon. Wear your green to Fifth Street Hardware and come enjoy the fun. And don't forget, they'll have Irish-themed dishes, drinks, and specials all weekend long. Fifth Street Hardware and Tap Room, downtown Greenville.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has American airline flights perfect for your next trip. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the pirates fly.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville, do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
This is Coach Steve Shankweiler, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. To get the business services that are right for your business today, contact the team of experienced local bankers at First Bank. The team includes bankers you can trust like Ashley Capps, Lee Watson, Bonner Latham, Chris Richards, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nesbitt. First Bank, together with their customers, they're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive. First Bank on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville. And congratulations to Jackie Hutcherson of Winterville. Picked up a shrimp taco lunch courtesy of Chico's. Grab your amigos and join Chico's for their 40th anniversary party this Saturday from 1 until 6 p.m. There's going to be live music and entertainment from the Purple School Bus, and DJ Dog in the Chico's parking lot is the biggest fiesta of the year, and it's absolutely free. Make your plans now to be at Chico's this Saturday beginning at 1 o'clock, and congratulations to Chico's on 40 years in business. Now back to you, Clip.
All right. Thank you, Shirley. Dawson says, Clip, my guy. Well, What's up, my guy? I almost texted or tweeted Rajay last night, fellow ECU women's basketball fan. They win tonight. Maybe Rajay will do the watch along with us tomorrow night.
I was going to say maybe you should extend the invitation to
Yeah.
Rajay.
But we saw him at he was talking strategy with me when he saw me leaving the ECU women's game. That game we went to, he's like, man, we got to get out of this zone. They're killing us from the outside. I like that. I love Igoe when other athletes are at sporting events. It's a lot of, and man, that women's game I went to, a ton of football players. You had Ezra Walker, the Carteret kid, Ellingsworth.
Yep, Jackson.
Jackson
with the X.
All those guys, they were baseline. Let's see, Ellingsworth was there.
RJ was there.
Also, Ellings. Who's the
Wakefield Ellison?
Wakefield Ellison was there.
Jaffet McNeil also made it.
Ja was there. Chandler, name a random ECU basketball player. Howard Hurt, who will be at Sports Trivia tonight.
Howard
was there.
Hurt. Yeah. Shamar Bowden returned.
Shamar. Yeah.
Wynn.
Chad Wynn?
Chad Wynn.
Man,
he
I
was
can't
sitting
believe
next to a
Chad
trash
Wynn's there.
can.
It was crazy that Travis Holcomb Faye showed up. I go doing jokes now. Do you get that joke? I get that reference. I bet maybe one other person out there gets it. Chad, so he had a highlight tape of him just doing
it's still available on YouTube. Last I checked, literally him versus trash cans doing like post moves.
Wow.
It's amazing. Look up Chad Wynn highlight tape, see if it'll come up.
Man versus can.
I think I also
advantage win
at that game. I think I also saw Marshall Gilmet came in.
Oh yeah, Gilmet. It was great to see him and Zangari.
Zangari did DM me like a year ago randomly.
Is he high school coaching?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, just a great lineage of Pirate hoops.
What about Spasijevic or whatever his name was a few years ago?
Dmitry Spasijevic.
We need to look up how he's doing. I mean, he was only a sophomore, freshman when he transferred.
No way he's still playing.
He went to UMBC.
That's right. The after they beat Virginia.
Word on the street is Charles Coleman was actually back for that game as well.
Charles Coleman is getting a lot of run in this game.
He really has played the entire game.
Yeah, it's tournament time. St. Joe's went on an incredible run. George Washington trying to retake the lead here, I believe. What's going on in baseball? Oh, Sterling just mentioned it. Igoe, you're keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, so 3-1 East Carolina in the top of the 7th. Pirates lead.
Pirates.
They have not had a hit since the 4th inning, and
they're doing the reverse.
Yeah, it has basically been the reverse. They scored 3 over the first 2. They have brought in Zach Root out of the bullpen. He's pitched 2 scoreless innings, given up 2 hits. He's actually worked around leadoff singles in both innings. His pitch count is at 36.
Has Root allowed a run this year?
Yes.
Oh, Carolina.
Yep. He allowed 2. I don't know which of those were.
He had one, at least one unearned.
And Elon sits down ECU in order in the 7th. So ECU's bats have gone quiet here. Cliff Godwin was hot earlier after a potential foul ball was called fair, and there was no review. I assume there's no review available. The umpires met. They made it stand, and that cost ECU a crisp runners in scoring position situation.
Cliff, we're on Flow Sports, bud. I get that it's $99.99 a day, but we don't have replay available. I'm sorry. We're flowing. Stick with the flow.
Just go with the flow.
Go with the flow, Cliff. All right. And then Patrick Mason after the game was like, Cliff, do you think you should have been ejected?
If we would have lost.
Do you think you're too dependent upon arguing with umpires?
I think it's an honest question.
We talked to Patrick earlier. He said that they both handled it the way they did, and now they've moved on in life. That's the way it should go.
True
folks.
professionals.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Igoe. Can ECU win a conference tournament basketball game on Thursday?
Can they? Yes. Will
All
they?
right. Oh.
Will they? I mean, you asked, can they?
And you say yes. I'll take it.
Do we have a line?
No. We have a line for the women's game. Did you hear it earlier?
Did not.
What do you think it is?
Memphis -2.
It is Memphis -3. So there you go. All right. Guess the line for tomorrow. South Florida swept East Carolina. Didn't have a lot of trouble doing it in so doing. As Coach O would say. I'm going to say South Florida minus.
Don't steal my number.
5.5. Dude, we're in tune with the Pirate basketball.
I'm going South Florida 5.5.
We know more, and you should be thankful I'm including you in this because really I know more. But we know more about ECU basketball than anyone on the planet. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, we could sit here and name random ECU basketball players the rest of the show.
I mean, if you want to challenge me, I'm in. You were going to go 5.5?
Yeah, I was going to go 5.5.
I thought that might be a little rich and was thinking about 4.5, but I went with the 5.5. Chandler, what do you got?
6.5.
Oh.
Yeah, give it to me.
If it gets that high, I might find myself on the Pirate train.
I like ECU in this game. I don't know why.
I don't know why.
I don't know why. Well, that's the thing. We don't even know if RJ Felton is playing.
Yeah.
That's the.
My line is assuming RJ plays.
Yeah, if RJ is not playing, I just can't see a scenario where ECU wins this game. I mean, who's going to score?
Yeah.
Outside of Brandon Johnson.
You're going to need a huge Brandon game.
Hoisting threes from like 50 feet beyond the arc.
I do love when he steps into one from NBA range.
He's almost better from there than short range three. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I kind of got the fact that Felton was able to return and play at UCF in the second half. Granted, he was not 100%. I would think that's got to be goaltending. This guy grabbed the rim.
I know, what an idiot.
I would think that he'll play at least somewhat. Now, how effective will he be? I don't know. And do we see a Javon Small appearance out of nowhere? I got the vibe, probably not, but Schwartz didn't close it out either.
Yeah, I guess that was somewhat positive to hear, but Schwartz said that the main thing is, of course, his health long term.
And the other factor with this game that I like ECU on is Jaden Walker was not the starting point guard for either game against South Florida. That was when they were trying to make the Caleb LeCount situation work, and it just, there were too many turnovers, defensive miscues, I thought, during that time, and ECU to me is a much better team when Jaden Walker's running the point right now. Not that he's been elite, but he's been good from a ball control perspective outside of the UCF game most recently, but provides a lot more versatility defensively with his length.
You might have mentioned this. You broke down his numbers on Hoist the Colors. Yep. Did you say that? And those stats were pretty eye-popping, though.
Yeah, definitely a huge difference. Now that was before the UCF game, so maybe it would draw it back closer to earth. But I think the team was just wiped out. I mean, that was a brutal stretch, and so yeah, I mean, I think ECU has a shot. It's tough to beat a team 3 times, as Brian Bailey says.
I was about to say Brian Bailey would agree.
It's not.
We've seen it done several times, the ECU in basketball.
They only have to do it once, and that's tomorrow.
But, I mean, it comes down, and it's easier said than done. Just slow down Tyler Harris, man. The guy just kills ECU every time they play. I mean, he just shreds them.
He's a player. Developing situation in Fort Worth, Texas. Wichita State up by 1 on Houston, 32-31.
Oh, boy.
1:11 left to go in the second quarter. Pirates swept Wichita State. They had to come back and beat Houston in 3 overtimes.
Guys, be careful what you wish for, because it's tough to beat a team 3 times.
Wait, so we want Houston?
They've only beaten Houston once because they only played them once.
That's right. Good stuff. Igoe, we'll take our final timeout. We'll let you run. We'll see you at 12:30 on Thursday.
See you tomorrow.
All right. Watch a long time, baby. Take a break, come back, wrap it up after these words.
Drive right field. Did he get enough? Strawberry in the corner. He looks up. It's gone. 3-run homer for Murphy.
Hey, sports fans, one of the most beloved athletes ever to play for the Atlanta Braves, Dale Murphy, is coming to Greenville on Sunday, April 2nd. Table sponsorship and ticket information to a dinner with Dale Murphy is available now at pr927fm.com. Don't miss your chance to meet a living legend and hear Dale Murphy talk about his career, leadership, resilience, integrity, and more. It's a dinner with Dale Murphy, Sunday, April 2nd. Details available now at pr927fm.com. Here with Jeff Stein at Brown & Wood. Jeff, what can you do for people looking for a new vehicle in 2023?
We can show the people the number one selling car in the region, the Buick Encore, the Encore GX, the Envision, and the Buick Enclave. We've also got Cadillac dominating the market with the XT4, XT5, and XT6, and we continue to get new GMC Sierra trucks in daily. Please come see us at 329 Southwest Greenville Boulevard. Brown & Wood, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
Every March, Jersey Mike's turns money from subs into charitable donations.
And March 29th is Jersey Mike's annual Day of Giving, where 100% of sales are donated to local charities.
And to kick off all that giving, Peter gave me an apron. I'm honored.
Looking good, Danny. We've got subs to make, though.
Yeah. Now I know why you gave me the apron. Yeah. Join us Wednesday, March 29th for Jersey Mike's Day of Giving. Be a sub above.
Greenville Utilities electric customers will soon be able to receive text notifications in the event of power outages. Enrollment is automatic, so make sure GUC has your cell phone number by signing into your account at GUC.com, then update the information in your user profile. Want to talk with someone instead? Call 252-752-7166 during business hours. 252-752-7166. Update us so we can update you. Visit GUC.com for more information.
At Papa John's, we start with better. Like marinated oven roasted chicken tossed in our new hot lemon pepper sauce, kind of better. And now you can find them on the Papa Pairings menu. Get 2 or more Papa Pairings favorites for just $6.99 each, only from Papa John's.
Hey, Pirate fans, Papa John's is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Go Pirates!
This is Mark Washington with Max Sports Performance at Max Fitness. Our facility has reopened and is following all safety protocols. The best thing you can do to strengthen your immune system is, of course, to work out and exercise on a regular basis. I can assist you as your performance coach. You can also enjoy the benefits of a private facility. Avoid the crowds and work out at Max Fitness. Now is the time to get healthy. Max Fitness, just off Highway 43 in the old Ace Hardware building behind Speedway in Greenville. Call me, Mark Washington, 902-4877.
This is Stephen Igoe. You've heard from me plenty on Pirate Radio Live and perhaps have read some of my work on hoistthecolors.net. Now, get an extension of our in-depth coverage on the Hoist the Colors podcast. From game previews to immediate post-game analysis to emergency podcasts for breaking news, we've got you covered. A cast of guest co-hosts from fans, former coaches, and other writers join me for 2 podcasts weekly to break down all things ECU athletics. Subscribe to Hoist the Colors now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
This is Miles Berry, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. The Dow was down 58 points today at 32,798. The NASDAQ was up 45 at 11,576, and the S&P was up 5 points at 3,992. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors financial report. For a personal looking to investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. Now, back to you, Clip.
All right, Pirates lead Elon after 7, 3-1. ECU women's hoops tonight, semifinals, AAC tournament at 7 o'clock against Memphis, and we'll be with you 12:30 for a watch-along coming up on Thursday as ECU takes on South Florida. We'll have plenty of scores on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by Dubuck.
Dubuck.
All right, Shirley, Chan Man, by the way, for fans of Name That Sound, bad news. We're not playing tomorrow.
It's over.
Good news. We're going to play on Friday.
I figure it's a pretty good Friday game too.
Perfect. You gave me the option of I think today or Friday.
Yeah.
So it got to be Friday. That's going to be a fun Friday. So that's returning on Friday. We will see you 3 o'clock on Thursday's edition of Pirate Radio Live. Jeff Charles, take us home.
Have a great night, Eastern Carolina.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation